God, it's been a while since we've done some work for the Department of Liberty. But they patched the client, and I've downloaded the update for it. So let's see if we can't work to a new promotion. All right, take just a second here. Let's dial in. Scuto bone voluntaris. Alright, let's go ahead and enter the codex here. Well, it's thinking about it. No, the new program... Well, for a second there it crashed, but then it continued on anyway. Alright. Let's go ahead and sign in as Michael Knight here. See, they've changed this a little bit already. I believe they made a change that all the evidence will automatically open when investigating someone, so that'll be interesting. It looks like we've got some news updates. Let's see what's going on with the news right now. BRICS economies overtake the G7, resurrecting species, the end of extinction, breaking hostage siege in Prague. Anti-vaxxer movement grows. Luther Prince, Tripwire are the biggest enemy. Luther Prince. Our boss's boss. What a dick. So far, we are the number 2 most funded branch of the intelligence services. And we know that there is going to be a San Francisco attack. Let's see if we can put a stop to it. We are clearance level 4. We're going to go ahead and get logged back in here. Alright, so we have the ability to threaten harm against the suspect if they refuse to follow our wishes or our demands. We were given that legal authorization by the Gray Decade Bill. We also have the new power to manipulate. A DOL agent applies psychological techniques to manipulate the subject into acting in the department's best interest. Works best with weak-minded individuals. Lockdown. Find weaknesses and loved ones. Wait. This is weird. It's having a problem. Okay, here we go. A mercenary group, the Hearts of Oak, has taken dozens of hostages in central Prague and is now in a standoff with the police. We believe they have strong connections with the terror plot on San Francisco, so we need them alive. Because, we need them to know what's going on in San Francisco so we can prevent whatever's going to happen there. Find anything we can use to manipulate them into turning against each other or surrendering. We're not the devil. I feel like you're overstating and simplifying things. Look, we are doing our job and protecting our country. There are millions of people in San Francisco. Do you just want them to die because I didn't have the ability or the integrity needed to manipulate some known terrorist criminals into giving me the information I need to protect our country and our citizens? I mean, right? All right, so we are looking for people who are motivated by family or motivated by friendship, and they care strongly about someone else. We are looking for people who are self-preserving, survivalists, or selfish, and they criticize another mercenary. So that would kind of turn them against each other. And then we need to find people who are paranoid, fearful, or have IQs under 95 with criminal records but no history of violent crimes. We don't want to push them over into violence, but we need to be able to manipulate them. So let's begin the assignment. Right now we are only presented with Ile Jurescu. Male, Prague, mercenary. He's going deaf. He prefers to sleep at ground level. He is susceptible to spoonerisms. And he has a history of obsessive-compulsive behavior. Spoonerisms, as you may remember, would be something like this, to call it a relogging key port. Kind of flipping those around there. So let's take a look. His IQ is under 92, or under 95, so he's 92. He is angry, skittish, paranoid, guileless, and frugal. Clicking on these things doesn't really tell me what they mean. Luckily, I know what all those words mean. He's motivated by family or friendship. Let's see here. I'm sorry, but he's busy. I don't care if he's busy. Get him to call me now. I'm sorry, but no. If I don't get a call in 5, I'm talking to Milos. So, I would say fearful? We have no indication of a criminal background. Let's take a look here. Weapons, timing, security, precision, training, computer program, Lucas. One surprising phone weapons is wandering behind your glittering mission. His accurate space is wandering following timing one curious river. One noisy road illuminates beneath security. His curious windmill, our silly beach smiles with precision. His unbelievable strawberry, this training lazy computer, arises besides this young woman. The cold carpet will be following his excellent computer program, Spaghetti. His curious car calculates in front of one Lucas Green saxophone. Alright, so, does he care strongly about somebody else? Not particularly. Is he criticizing another mercenary? No. So we are looking for... I'm assuming we have just this right here. I don't see anything else that we could do except for select that. That's interesting. Alright. I would have expected to need to use the Deep Link tool in order to look for additional things. Alright, let's see if we can use Midstream to get any further information, because I don't think... Whoops. Why did it do that? Wow, space immediately brings that up? Yikes. Good to know. Whoa. Okay, I don't like the changes they've made to the UI. It's made it too easy to go somewhere else. Alright, we'll try this again. Sorry about accidentally logging out there. It is almost the weekend. It's all good, buddy. So we still have Threaten. We still have Manipulate. I don't know why this is still here. Back to work, I guess. Alright, so let's try this. Ile Jurescu. He's got, he looks a little different, doesn't he? He makes $32,000 a year. He lights matches on his boot heel. He has a chronic pain in his hip. He loves falling asleep to rain, and he is prone to binges. The exact same message is here. I'm sorry, he's busy. I don't care if he's busy. Call him now. No, if I don't get a call, I'm leaving. And then we have the key logging report that doesn't tell us anything useful. Here we go, right here. We can use the assay tool. This was not listed on the initial one, or maybe we were scrolled down a little bit and couldn't see it, but we can use the assay tool on names. Seriously, how do I... Just... What is going on with the interface here? Let me unplug the controller in case it's messing with it. Because clicking right there should move it up and down. Okay. Alright, so let's do the assay tool on Milos. There we go. We found a new suspect. That's what we were looking for. Where is this Milos? Milos. Well, we're going to mess it up. I'm no good at Polish names. Sorry. Milos Pokraczek. He has an above average IQ. He's independent, destructive, erratic, paranoid, and fanatical. Is everyone cool now? Yes, sir. Well, Uwe is still a little funny after you shot his cousin. Funny like a comedian? Like Donald Rickles? James Carrey? Haha. Tell him to get his shit together. His cousin will be having a family reunion. Alright, well, let's take a look at Uwe. There we go. This guy has done armed robbery, hijacking, murder, mutilation, and murder. So I don't think we're going to use this because he definitely has a history of violent crimes. Alright, let's come back to him in a minute. Let's take a look at this Uwe person. Surprisingly, it's not Uwe Boll. Hey, Don. What is going on? I'm pretty sure that Milos and Benkole are definitely mercs. So we have Uwe, Gramlich, not Boll, so we can't lay any terrible movies at his feet and blame him for it. He's a mercenary, makes $66,000 a year. This is significantly better than some of his other mercenaries. He's not afraid to ask questions. He speaks Catalonian. He's borderline narcoleptic, and he has he stuttered for a long time. So, all right, he's done fraud, shoplifting, reckless conduct, unauthorized possession of weapons. So, no violent crimes there, but he is slightly higher than I would normally do for this. But it's paranoid or fearful or IQ under 95 to Black Sheep. So, he was talking to Jay Backer. Let's go ahead and assay Jay Backer. No linked data. Okay. Are you going to be fine? Yeah, I'm fine. That's a relief for a minute. Actually, you know what? No, I'm fucking not. Are you sure? Fuck him and his bullshit. He thinks he's the fucking king, but I'm not taking it. So what do I tell Niels? You can tell him whatever you want. The same goes for Trarian, or for Traian? You can all keep going along with it if you want. So we found 2 more people. All right, so we'll come back. We're building a whole stable worth of people to find. All right, so we have Trajan Zidaru, mercenary, $48,000 a year, desperately needs sleep and maybe something about... Are those wrinkles, or is that like a faded tattoo on his head? I think those are wrinkles. He doesn't trust forks. He doesn't trust forks, you guys. He never wears rings. He's obsessed with African art, and he experiences night terrors. I still don't really get cars. Like, why are all the buildings still human-sized? The day you stop racing is the day you win the race, and spending the day with my pal Jop. Who knew the Dutch could be fun, huh? Alright, he's got an IQ of 104. He is impaired. He's expedient, non-idealistic, easygoing, fearful. Finally, we found somebody who is specifically fearful. Right? And we have no idea about his criminal record. So he doesn't have a criminal record, so fearful doesn't mean anything. What do we have here? He's talking to B. Stefan. You're going to have to talk to him about it? Who do you think? Goran, of course. I don't know. He's pretty preoccupied right now. You're just scared of him. No shit. And you can't trust a fork. I have eaten food for decades, and every now and then a fork will betray me, and I'll stab myself in the mouth. Interestingly enough, for just a second here, I saw it pop up notes showing me that I can open these tabs by pushing the buttons. That's kind of cool. So that's new. That was key management stuff that we didn't know about. How is he? The doctors say he's a little better, but the fever is too intense. Look after him. I won't lose another brother. So here we go. Here he is caring strongly about somebody else. He is motivated by family, it seems to be. Here we go. Motivated by family. Yes. So let's use the deep link tool on this with this. And then we will say motivated by family. So we found one piece of evidence that we can use to manipulate Mr. Goran Ikovic. $92,000 a year. He's extremely conscious of his poor posture, skeptical of schools. He can fall asleep anywhere, and he makes do with very little. He is the kind of person that refers to the air above us as the atmosphere instead of the atmosphere, because clearly the Earth is flat. All right. Would you be able to speak with him? Of course, I'll do it tomorrow. Thank you. A lot of us will feel better. Honestly, his behavior has worried me too. He's too erratic, and we can't have those kinds of outbursts jeopardizing the mission. So we have found one piece of evidence on him. We'll be back to check him and other ones out as we do more explanations. But let's take a look at this guy here, Jop Spons. He's a mercenary, makes $93,000 a year. He leaves his blinds open at night. Some mercenary. Holds grudges. He tells stories with no conclusion. And he's been caught picking his nose. But who hasn't? Alright, so he's been charged with assault. I don't think that we can really say that he is no history of violent crimes. But let's take a look here. Self-preserving survivalist or selfish, maybe? He is paranoid. Well, that's back down there, so we can't use that. He's motivated by family, however. That's important to know. I've got your father here. Is there anything you want to say to him? Actually, yes, there's something I've been wanting to say for a long time. Yeah, really? Yeah, it's go to hell, you old bastard. I might just skip that if it's okay. So he may be motivated by family, but he doesn't care strongly about somebody else. And no evidence of him criticizing another mercenary anywhere in here. So it doesn't seem like we have anything that we can actually use for leverage on him here. And it does not look like there's any other names that we can use, so let's go ahead and discard him. I don't think that we can do anything with him. Let's go back and look at some of these others that we've passed up. Niels. We never looked at Niels Kuiper. Niels Kuiper is a mercenary, makes $56,995 per year. He's extremely argumentative, but he will tell you he's not. He owns the copyright to several 1940s blues songs. He tries very hard to stand up straight, which is great because that other guy is super conscious of poor posture, and he ignores positivity. You could say he's positively pig-headed. He has committed criminal trespass to residence, illegal gambling, offering a bribe, and street racing. None of these seem like things that we should have any sort of a problem with. We should actually be able to work on him pretty well over here. Let's take a look. He is fearful, and he has a criminal record with no history of violent crimes, so we're just going to go ahead and use Black Sheep on fearful right here. Got him. So who's paying for all this anyway? I don't know their names, and I never saw them, but we spoke on the phone. And? Weirdos, man. One had this goddamn cough that wouldn't stop. And another kept smoking medicinal herb the whole time. Swore he got a prescription. Oh yeah, and they always had fighting on loud in the background. Super loud. I think I heard about that. Wasn't there also some loudmouth prick? Yeah, he kept talking about breaking his arm in a bar fight. Think he was serious? Hell, I probably would have if I met him. Broke his arm, I suppose, is what he's saying. Alright, so we found a single thing here. Nothing else seems to really apply here, so let's go ahead and... yeah, he's not showing any evidence of being on anybody else. So let's go ahead and mark him as threatened. Let's go all the way back to Ile. He's the very first person. If we take a look here, he has an IQ under 95, but we don't know anything about a criminal record, so apparently he does not have one. He does not have selfish, self-preserving, or survivalist, so we can ignore that. Even though it kind of looks like he's criticizing over here. So there's really not anything that we can do about him. He was just our gateway into finding more names. So nothing special there. Alright, let's go back to Milos. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Alright. So, we found names off of this, but let's look at his names here. We do have Paranoid. And if we look at his criminal record, oh hell yes, violent crime, so we're not going to use any of that. Is he self-preserving, survivalist, or selfish? He is none of these things. Is he motivated by family or by friendship? He is not. So all he was a link to more people. Alright, let's take a look here. How about Uwe? Uwe has fraud, shoplifting, reckless conduct, unauthorized possession of weapons. None of those are particularly violent crimes. He's too smart to be able to do it, but he is fearful and he has a criminal record, so we can absolutely mark fearful. He also has self-preserving, and let's see if he criticizes. So, UG is Uwe. Says, fuck him and his bullshit. He thinks he's the fucking king, and I'm not taking it. So we need to use the deep link tool to link this with self-preserving. Because, I mean, that looks definitely like the point where he's completely criticizing him. So we've got 2 on this guy. So we're going to come in here and we're going to attempt to manipulate him. What else do we got? We've got try in again. So, no criminal record, so we can't look at that. This guy is fearful, but we don't know anything about a criminal record, so we can ignore that. Self-preserving, survivalist, or selfish? No, none of those things. Motivated by family or friendship? No, absolutely he's not. So, there's really not anything that we can do. We found 2 names, but we actually can't do anything with him. We'll discard it. And then we'll go look at Goron again. So, we've already deep linked one thing on him. He is smart. He is a survivalist, however. So, survivalist. Does he criticize another mercenary? Absolutely he does, right here. He says that this guy is acting erratic. We can't have those, so we'll link that to survivalist. We'll put it there, and we will say that we're going to manipulate him. So we processed all 7 suspects. Let's go ahead and submit. See how we did. Ah, we missed a suspect, it looks like. I missed a name somewhere. That's troublesome. But we did find all the suspicious evidence that we were looking for. We didn't incorrectly mark anything. And even though we have one unfound suspect, it actually doesn't look like it did anything because we made every appropriate decision that we were supposed to. So we didn't find the person? Yes, Lucas. So I'm kind of curious where we missed Lucas, but it doesn't look like we missed anything else. So we're apparently still fine. Isn't that right, peepers? All right. We're going to go ahead and take our compliance bonus here, $400. And we're going to end the session. So Ile reluctantly surrendered. Milos reluctantly surrendered. Uwe was not interested in speaking with us. Niels surrendered and is being interrogated. Trajan was shot down by the police. Jop was killed in a shootout. Goran was convinced to give up associates to protect his own interests. Excellent. That's exactly what I needed. How are you liking the new support role? It's been all right so far. A little weird seeing you give the briefings, but it works. I mean, she's known us since we were a grunt, so not so bad. All right, let's take a look here real quick. It's been a little while since we played. I want to check my bank account. Yeah, we've got $5,710. We even bought that tablet PC a while back, even though did we buy the tablet PC or did we buy the drone? I think maybe we bought the drone. Anyway, the only thing I really regret is not still having my broken ass phone. All right, so we're at home. What do we got going on here? A new message from Renegade. The upcoming presidential election will be pivotal for our country. It's also the most open race in years, with the major parties losing a lot of support. Watch out for any candidate who's a risk to civil liberties. We can't afford the DOL getting any more powerful. Now she wants us to manipulate presidential elections. That is not what a good civil servant would do. Hey, you remember how we were going to meet up for drinks last night? You go, yeah, I couldn't go. It's called a job. Like, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I've just been really busy with work. So busy you couldn't call? At the Department of Statistics? What, did they get a huge pie chart shipment? Yeah, well. I don't think much of her, even though we clearly need to keep her in our life. Look, she's the beard, okay? She's our cover. All right, what we got? We got dates. What do we got here? Oh, wow. So she's a person. She hyper liked us. Love life. Only here for a bit of fun. I never message first. All right. Well, let's try and push our data rating up a little bit just in case we need to use it for something. So we'll go ahead and hyper like her back. Don't judge me on my pick. Okay, well, what am I supposed to judge you on? Oh, no, don't judge me on my age. I can just judge you on your pick, then? That's fine. 26, sure. I like long walks on the beach, and that's it. I don't think I want to walk on the banks of the Potomac. Thanks. I can be a handful, topped with sarcasm and sprinkles of bullshit. Well, Larissa, go talk to somebody else. Woman seeks mutual man... or hostile man for mutual psychological torture, codependency, and future divorce. I don't think so. I'm still trying to keep an eye out on names to see if any of them are ones that I remember, but it's been so long since we played the game that I really doubt that any of them are going to trigger me. I prefer my men out of shape and overly sensitive. Well, hell, man. All of Twitch just jumped at that. All right, so you're all done for today. Nice. See who liked you back. So we got +1 to our data rating. We're still at 13. Diane did not like our like. This is interesting. At least this tells us a little bit more about it. Okay, so we'll go back. I know it's odd to be dating around while we have a bae already, and yet it's still a thing that it wants us to do, and I haven't entirely figured out what's going on with it, so I can only presume that I need to get that rating up to a certain level so that I have an option to maybe talk to somebody. Let's go ahead and request a profile for her from Skeleton Key. We've got to watch out for number 1 here. So we need to find which voters are most exploitable for the upcoming election. The DOL and Seb Goff are building a catalog of the most exploitable, manipulatable voters for the upcoming election. Tripwire would like to turn these voters towards their perspective, which means they're just as bad. And Dennis Zook, a politic campaign, play large buck for no... politic campaign pay large buck for know which voter is easy bamboozled. Election is waste of time. You might be right, Zook. You might be right. All right, let's go ahead and get connected here. Here we are. All right, so we are looking for IQs under 93. If they are these names. That seems like a weird one. Only if they know these, only if they are these people and their IQ's under 93. Wouldn't we know that already? Use the midstream tool if they have feelings of insecurity, resentment, or manipulatable, and they've remained in one place all day. So I imagine we'll see a lot of travel records here. All right. Alejandra Gabriela. Let's take a look here. Nope. She moved around today. Wow, her IQ is 79. So none of these. IQ under 93, you bet. But A. Gabriella is not one of the people. So, nothing there. Okay. Who's next? Sander Cantu. Sander Cantu is unemployed, makes $40,000 a year being unemployed. He sleeps with a glass of water beside his bed. He has a persistent smoking fetish. He has a massive coaster collection and insists on outfits matching. All right, lamestream media is at it again, spreading the lies their masters tell them. You know, I saw a poster today that said something about, what was it? It was like, libtards will be out voting in force, trying to take over the government. Show your patriotism by boycotting voting booths in November or something like that. And I just went, man, if somebody falls for that, maybe they don't need to be putting their vote out there. Let's see here. Just been at this Devin Bashir rally. This guy is just really full of common sense. How fair is it that everyone has so much and I have so little? Well, Sander, what have you been doing with your time there, buddy? So, okay, so we've got D. Bashir rally. He has an IQ under 93. Let's go ahead and just use the midstream tool on it. By the way, midstream is limited to 5 uses now because people were selecting literally every object that was there and then just brute forcing by going down the list to see if people really wanted that kind of stuff. So he is manipulatable, but we have no idea if he remained in one place all day long. So we'll just go ahead and ignore that. Move on to the next one here. How about Gur Conan? I mean, I'm all for people of whatever political belief that they hold should be able to get out there and exercise their constitutional right to do so. People have fought and died to make sure that everybody has that right. On the other hand, if you're dumb enough to believe that, I'm glad you didn't vote. It's too funny. All right. Let's see here. Gur Cronin, unemployed. She makes $90,000 a year. She makes $90,000 a year and she has no job. She's devoted to her pets. She has a crush on her father. She experiences vivid hallucinations and enjoys competition in all things. So let's see here. She has a IQ of 89. Says, well, I'm just worried about you, especially lately. There's nothing to even worry about. I don't know what you mean. Since you lost your job, no one has seen you for a while. Are you sure? What? Are you sure watching is so much of this Cockenberger woman is good for you? Okay, if you're going to insult Dr. Cockenberger, I have nothing else to say. I'm done here. Well, that sounds like somebody fell into a cult. What's the point of foreign aid when we have plenty of needy people right here? Ouch. Homeless guy asked me for money. I told him to get a job. Not my country. What? How do these two jibe with each other? Don't help anybody that's not here. Some guy here asked me for help, and I said, fuck off. Like, what? I'm pretty sure The girl who served me at Chili's didn't even speak English. Hashtag not my country. Wow, lady, these two are like mutually exclusive. If you made no money, I could see how maybe you'd be like, I'm not giving you money, you give me money. But you make 90 grand a year, you don't do anything, and you don't want to help anybody? Man. Twitter is totally where you live, man. I'm not sure that she's not like a troll. This may not be, because like here she's actually demonstrating some concern about somebody, and over here, no concern at all. You think people would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies? All right, so so interestingly enough, we do see Kochenberger as one of the people that are mentioned here, and she does have an IQ of under 93, but she's really like pointing against that. But still, it matches close enough that I'm willing to use one of my uses on it. We don't have that many left. I don't even know if she's a professional activist, man. I think she's just like screwing with people. All right, Andreas Gabrielson. He's unemployed, makes $16,000 a year. He sits on the arms of couches. He reveres David Icke. Icke? Ike? It ends in an E. Does that mean the I is long? He prefers public transportation, and really, if you're a bad driver, who doesn't? And he's currently learning to play the piano. He has an IQ of 106, so we're going to be able to ignore anything that's happening there. We have no idea about his traveling stuff, so we're probably not going to be able to find anything. What did he buy, though? One Friedrich Nietzsche Simplified from the bookstore. One Divided States, Quentin Mbuto. Yeah, could be. Could be. One Panama hat bought at Internet Fashion. One retro vape kit from Up and Toke. I mean, that name's taken already, right? Up and Toke. And if it's not, why has everybody been asleep? All right, so there's not really anything that we can do there. So now we have looked at all of them, with the exception of Jamie Paul. She has a relationship with R. Gutierrez. She's got an IQ of 106. She's attracted to disagreement, attracted to conflict, loves to argue, respects assertiveness, bored easily, and dramatic. I think we're going to have to start a fight with her. She bought a book on the power of the Zodiac, on Patricia Neal 2028 badges. Patricia Neal, as I recall, was a politician from down here in the Florida Panhandle that she's been sucking up to us, and we've been manipulating things in her favor because she will suck up to us. And won Los Angeles Lakers jersey, and a horoscopes and numerology, a guide. Because this is the dating person, and if I look into it, even if I don't look into it, they always talk to me whenever we try and investigate them. If we look into them, they always chat with us. And so we can actually have a chance to increase our data rating by having a good conversation with them. So what up? Hey. Oh, it's always weird timing. It always happens the second I do that. Okay, important question. What do you think of star signs? I mean, she's attracted to disagreement. So, I mean, they're a load of superstitious trash, and so is anyone who believes in them. She's going to love this shit. Seriously? I can't believe how much I disagree. Smiley face. Who are you supporting in the election? So we can choose anybody that's not Patricia Neal. Definitely Richard Castro. Only he can stop that maniac Patricia Neal. Here we go. She's getting hot now. Wow, I couldn't disagree more. Are you an NBA fan? I mean, I'm wearing my LeBron Laker jersey. No. I'm indifferent. No. Or how about the Celtics are the best? You bet. Yeah. The Celtics. The Celtics. Fucking Boston with that. Okay, fight me. She wants to fight in bed. That's what she wants to do. So we definitely have to meet this Saturday. Mine? Her place. Wow. She wants to fuck fight. Check that out. +3 data rating, date schedules. We are up to hedonist. That maybe is a little further than I thought I was going to go. All right. Let's go ahead and log into Rialto and sell some of this data here. All right. So we've got 2 psychologicals. And we have 3 offers on each of them. Fuck fights are the best fights. Let's just go ahead and sell 1 to Seb and 1 to Renegade because Zook's at maximum. So we'll go back. Everybody's happy with me. 10, 10, 10 across the board. We can quit. And it looks like Saturday we're getting laid by somebody who is not our bae. Whoops. The hate fuck is seriously strong with that one. That's actually kind of fun. Can you imagine? That actually might be kind of fun. To be able to look at somebody's, like, psychological profile, something drawn up by, like, a shrink or psychologist or something like that, and then, like, have a conversation with them and play them, knowing that? That would be interesting. It's like Christmas, isn't it? The election's almost here, and we haven't even picked a candidate yet. Like hell we haven't. Neil's easily the most pliable of the bunch. I don't have the same faith in her, Luther. She sprung up out of nowhere, without major party support. Any rapid success like that is suspicious. Director, Frank. Pardon me? It's not Luther anymore. I'm Director Prince. And until I say otherwise, we're supporting Patricia Neal. Anything else to discuss? No, Director. I think it's all been said. Then if you'll excuse me, I have something important to do. What happened there? It's nothing, kid. A little chest beating never hurt anyone. The presidential election's coming up, everyone. We'd be remiss if we didn't run our own extreme vetting. After all, we can't have just anyone running the country. Michael? We'll be looking for anyone who's not too extreme in either direction. However, we'll also need a candidate who will follow the DOL protocols. The department's R&D team has been working on a new aggregated media report evidence. This will let us examine a suspect's media output and consumption. Pay special attention to Patricia Neal. She's whipped up a wave of popular support out of nothing. I wouldn't want us getting washed away by it. It's interesting, we've actually been watching her since we were clearance level 10. Like, since the very beginning, that name has been continuing to come up. There's a few others. So, yeah. We do need to arrange something terrible to happen there. But I'm not totally sure that I trust our mentor either. I mean, they flat out come out and said that we're a tool, or at least Seb has. So we have access to new evidence, media analysis, a collection of the suspect's most commonly consumed media topics and their political bias. Media output is available for journalists, so we can see what they're talking about instead of what they're talking about, what they're taking in. That's interesting. Okay. How does this make you feel that intelligence agencies would be looking into presidential candidates? Because it happens. It's not necessarily a matter of gatekeeping, but you have to know what's possible. Can you imagine if a major party backed somebody who had significant terrorist ties? Operation Peaceful Transition. Identify which presidential candidates share our values. All right, let's view the rules. We need political biases over 45%. And if they're against surveillance, against government expansion, have an interest in civil liberties, or interest in data protection, we need to be concerned. Wolverine, please don't say that jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams or something like that. I'm just saying, I mean, don't you think it's in the interest of knowing that? Granted, the whole point of having an election is to pick somebody. I mean, from a certain point of view, I hate saying that with all the Obi-Wan in my being, but from a certain point of view, George Washington was a terrorist. Now, I like to think of him as a founding father and a relatively smart guy. But I don't think the British in the late 1700s looked at him like that. Just saying. We need to look for people who are idealistic, individualistic, free-thinking, or anti-authoritarian, especially if they have any contact with Armendez, the Lineham, or the Civil Liberties Union, and then absolutely black sheep anything for anybody who is anti-us. All right, so Morton Dahl, he just visited the Civil Liberties Union. Well, that's good to know. We've got call transcripts. Man, this is a lot of data. I like it all opening, but this is a lot of data. All right. So, I don't think we need to do anything with the geo-tracking. Because Children's Parade, Regional Chili Cook-Off, Mellow Sunset Retirement Home, I don't think there's anything there that applies to any of the others. All right, so if we take a look at political positions, his bias is over 45%. His most common topics accessed are education reform, death penalty reform, baking. How is baking associated with political positions? Is this like if you're pro... Is this like a salted, unsalted butter thing? I'm thinking maybe that's it. Civil liberties, weather, and particle physics. So he is interested in civil liberties, and he is interested, and he's leaning in that direction. So he is pro civil liberties. Let's go ahead and deep link it. And let's see, what do we have over here? He has trusting, compassionate, timid, free-thinking, and procrastinating. Free-thinking was one that we needed to look for. Let's see if he has any contact with, free-thinking and the Civil Liberties Union linked together. You can name names, Wolverine, but I think that applies to pretty much any candidate from any election, right? It's important to know these kinds of things because it's important to have an informed electorate. I don't know how I feel about the fact that we are going to use this information autocratically to like quash people. That's not something that I think is good. But investigating people that run for political office is pretty common. You want to limit your surprise when it comes to skeletons in the closet. Exactly. Everybody has a skeleton in the closet. You want to limit your surprise on that. So let's see here. He's talking to C.O.B. It's the only right thing to do, I suppose, but are you sure that's a smart move? I mean, they could swat us like flies. You hate what they stand for, right? Of course I hate the DOL, but we're fighting for a greater good. Well, the fight can start here. So, all right, look, man, this guy, I'm not going to say we're going to turn him in yet, but remain neutral, refuse support, and we could outright condemn this guy. We'll see. We'll come back to it. Well, most of our U.S. candidates have not been committing atrocities with government positional power. However, that's not at all uncommon in politics. Sadly. What the fuck is wrong with humans? All right, so he received $12,890 from Armendez. He has an IQ of 144. He's organized, sociopathic, individualistic. Kurt Weissman, he is the CEO of Weiss Blitz. He makes $14.8 million a year. He's the founder and CEO of a private military company. He's running for president on a pro-war platform. He's currently being investigated by several agencies, and he once fired a rifle during a baptism. Fired a rifle during a baptism? I'm not sure how I get the correlation. Like, at all. Oh, the stories that we tell when this thing gives us randomly generated qualities, man. It's pretty good. All right, so R. Mendez, let's see here. Is he anti-authoritarian? No. Free-thinking, individualistic, or idealistic? He is individualistic. So we're going to go ahead and link individualistic with this donation. Okay. We know that he has a political bias over 45%, so let's take a look here. He is taking a look at national defense, economic management, tax reform, surveillance, military tech, and economic meltdowns. I'm kind of curious because it says against, interest, and interest. So these must be interests, and against must be things over here. Celebrating the joyous event on the day of this child's baptism. Well, you know, never heard of fireworks at a baptism, but what do I know? All right, just saw a wonderful meme about a subprime loan refinancing. Such a crack up. What a nerd. I mean, he's a CEO, and he's got sociopathic tendencies, so of course he would think something like that's funny. What a fine day to be alive. God bless America. I gotta agree with that. And one thing I can guarantee is that I'll continue my fight to reduce the size of the government. So he's got a bias over 45%. He is against government expansion. So that's 2. So we're going to wind up condemning. So far, we've got a fairly liberal guy that we're going to condemn, and we've got a really conservative guy that we're going to condemn. Neither one of these are particularly manipulatable. These are people that we find unsuitable. What was Morton's job position? We didn't really look at that. He's a presidential candidate. He makes $201,000 a year. He has habitual upward inflections. He was shot with an SR-73 Vickers. He was considered a perfectionist, and he often pauses while speaking. All right, so enough of those guys. Well, speaking as somebody who works for the government, continuing a fight to reduce the size of government with bullets is terrifying. That is not the kind of working environment that I want. All right, Sherman Stone, he is a presidential candidate. He makes $178,000 a year. He's an advocate for conservative values. He's an ardent opponent of Patricia Neal. This must be the person that we said was the only person that could stop a madwoman like her whenever we were trying to get our wrestling date. He is a former general, and he believes in the defense of constitutional rights. I don't think it's a percent rating because, look, the maximum here, it's showing like 28. I think that's more of like how many hits that they made on it. The only thing that actually espouses views seems to be their Hootbox posts. Man, and who doesn't love a good old Hootbox? The current situation would have been avoided without DOL meddling. Well, we're probably going to have to flag him on that. I repeat, taxation is never the answer. Where are you going to get your money from, Sherman? Our inability to wrangle wayward nations is weakening us on the global stage. That's probably true. I don't want to think about cancers of the hoot boxes. I like hoot boxes. I'm good friends with a hoot box. We take care of each other. I like that there's that the H has migrated there, Boo. I enjoy that that it's WHILWEATON. Wheel Wheaton. Wheel Wheaton. Wheel Wheaton. Will Wheaton. Wheel Wheaton. All right, he's 32% on political position, so he's actually kind of in the middle. Even though he is conservative, he is not out on the extremes of either end. So we will just completely ignore the political bias section here. Let's see here. He is determined, steadfast, confident, individualistic, and irritable. So we're looking for individualistic. Does he have any connections with Armendez or D. Linehan? No. I got a feeling he probably has no contact with the Civil Liberties Union, but let's take a look here. So do we need to weigh in on the riots at all? Civil liberties are a gray area for your supporters, so I'd stay on defense and taxes for as long as possible. So hopefully a few other candidates will drop soon, and we'll see exactly where we can seize votes. Exactly. I like it. That's bloodthirsty business as usual politics right there. Wheatons. All right, so I don't think it doesn't specifically mention the Civil Liberties Union. I don't think that this triggers. He does have an anti-DOL sentiment, though. We need to go ahead and tag that. Will Wheaton is a white male that respects women. Women? Women? He went to the McCullough Veterans Home. Good for you, buddy. All right, we'll be back to look at him later. What do we got? We got Jimmy Charles of Topeka, Kansas. He's a presidential candidate. He makes $2 million a year. Why would he want to get a job that pays significantly less than that? You got to wonder about that, right? What kind of guy spends, or woman, I mean, who spends millions of dollars in order to get a job that pays $400,000 a year with, I mean, okay, it's a little more than that, right? It's actually about $550,000 a year once you have travel expenses and expense allowances. Like, I don't know if you realize this, but the president has a $50,000 a year expense account, basically. And usually it's used for things like, oh, we're going to go visit so-and-so and shake some hands and stuff like that. But it also buys all those really nice suits. You know? Well, okay, so we have Jimmy Charles here. He was shot with an M1903. He falls in love with everyone. He's learning to mix drinks, which is probably why he falls in love with everybody. He's drinking his own roofies. And he enjoys spending time in museums. He's talking with Armendez right now. He has a political position 90% conservative. I have a feeling that we are going to wind up tagging him on a whole bunch of shit. He's been looking up traditional values, a return to the gold standard. Oh, buddy. Well, it might be nice to tag money to a specific kind of thing like that. The banks will not let you do that. That would destroy fractional reserve banking. That's not going to work. He's a big fan of black and white TV, restricting votes, isolationism, and apple pie recipes. You know. Traditional values, black and white TV, and apple pie. I don't see why we need to involve ourselves in the world at all. Excellent point. Everything was going along splendidly until that buffoon Wilson got us involved in World War I. Everything's gone downhill since then. Excellent point. Clearly, P. Beckwith here is just going to say whatever old Jimmy Charles wants him to say. So this particular presidential candidate here has an IQ of 96. Well. All right. So let's look at his political bias here. He is 45%. He is... Well, we don't know if he's against surveillance. Let's see here. We can't tell if he's particularly against government expansion. He's definitely against foreign aid, but that's not really either one of these. So definitely not civil liberties or data protection, so his bias isn't going to play into this at all. He is, let's see, we're looking for idealistic, individualistic, free-thinking, or anti-authoritarian. Literally none of these. See, we're just going to have to discard this dude. Even though he's got Armendez, he has none of the traits that we are interested in, and he never talks about the DOL. So we're just going to have to, like, leave this one. Man, I don't know how I feel about that, though. Are we going to support a guy who wants us to go back to black and white TV. I feel real dirty about that. Black and white television. But there's not anything that I can tie him to. Nothing about surveillance, nothing about government expansions. What's the wrong name, Boo? Oh, that's Menendez instead of Mendez? Yeah. So yeah, we gotta support this guy. That's fucked up. This dude wants us to all watch black and white TV again. You gotta understand, I'm against that. Alright, let's take a look at old Henry Roy here. In good old Washington, D.C., his presidential candidate makes $164,000 a year. He's susceptible to spoonerisms. He once dropped out of high school. He always laughs when lying. That would be handy to know in a president, don't you think? And he once stared at the sun for 3 minutes. Do you think that's a tongue-in-cheek poke at the currently elected president? The one who stared at the eclipse without the goggles? To Sean Hackman, while the iron's hot, since those international mishaps, they're vulnerable, we need to take advantage. We need to lead the charge against the DOL. And when that monster goes down, I want to be the one holding the severed head aloft. Well, we're just going to go ahead and mark that as interesting. Political position, he's definitely over 45%. Is he interested in... Yes, he's got an interest in data protection, a very high interest in data protection. Let's go ahead and link that with the bias. And let's see here. If we look at the deep link tool here, he is passionate, optimistic, anti-authoritarian. So that's one that we want to look for. But does he have any contact with Armendez de Linehan or the Civil Liberties Union? Yes, Dylan Linehan right here. So we can link that to anti-authoritarian. Go all Kathy Griffin on it. Now we know why Boo's never going to get elected for any sort of political office. All right, what do we have here? We got Richard Castro. No, Richard Castro was the one that we said was against Patricia Neal. Okay, so let's take a look here. We've got a fair bit of evidence for him. Geo-tracking, courthouse, Civil Liberties Union. All right, so let's take a look here. He's definitely got something with the Civil Liberties Union. Let's take a look here. He is idealistic, so we can link idealistic with Civil Liberties Union. And then pretty much close that. Political position, he is not over 45%. He is also pretty conservative, or, well, conservative. He's central. He's not an extremist. Not like the guy who's 90%. So let's see here. It might be painful, but we need to look seriously at income distribution. Things are much too hard on working families. Met some returning troops today, such an honor. Every time I feel challenged, I'm inspired by all your voices and passion for truth and justice. There's a growing need to look into the DOL and limiting its control. Is that technically an anti-DOL sentiment? He's not saying that we need to be brought down. He wants to do an individual kind of assessment. Alright, so Richard Castro, he's a presidential candidate, makes $189,430 per year. He's a candidate for the progressive movement. He's a fierce opponent of Patricia Neal, who has been one of our more ardent supporters. He's an advocate for civil liberties, and he was previously a member of Congress. No, it's not about self-respect and bad ideas, Boo. It's calling for actual heads by referencing comedians who did similar. It's not going to get you elected. All right, so let's take a look here. He is idealistic. We've done that. Self-reliant, magnanimous, and ceremonious, and moody. So doesn't look like any of these will fit, except for the one that we already did. Idealistic. What are we going to tag it to? Because I clicked on it. What were we going to tag it to? U.S.-Yemen relations, U.S.-Panama relations, data protection, water shortages, 4D printing. What would 4D printing be? And space infrastructure. Space infrastructure is definitely a way to get on my good side. So we've got the data protection, but we don't have a political bias that's in excess of it. Idealistic doesn't seem to have anything to link it to. Oh, no, that's what we did. We linked it to the Civil Liberties Union over here, and then we closed it. That's what it was. Okay. All right, so we've got one thing. You could maybe stretch it to 2. All right, and then let's go look at Patricia Neal. Presidential candidate. Makes $290,000 per year. She comes from a traditionally wealthy family. She's the winner of several state debating championships. She's a possible sociopath, and she's an atheist that pretends to be Baptist. This is all stuff that we've seen before. What is going on with this political position? It's like she's calculated the way to be the most inoffensive as possible. U.S. politics, power shifts, factional infighting, U.S. intelligence, NFL news, power in data. Factional infighting and power shifts. I'm reading between the lines here, and we got the sociopathic, charismatic, pragmatic, flexible values motivated by power. This woman is 100% playing the game. Like, there is no her in here. She could just be an empty room. You'd vote for her? I think a lot of people would. I don't know that that's a good thing, though. Sociopathic, charismatic, pragmatic, flexible values, and motivated by power. She's a very carefully calculated position to be dead in the center, and she's looking for ways to make the groups fight against each other. That's like masterclass level fucking around. Let's see here. When I'm elected, you'll see manufacturing jobs return. Hashtag promise keeper. How? On the question of big government, I stand for whatever will make you, the voters, happy. Wishy-washy. We need to show Zabara and Yemen who's boss. What is the president doing? Show them who's boss. How? They brokered a peace agreement with the help of the Microsoft stand-in guy. They brokered a peace agreement in Yemen. What do you mean? Just gaming the system perfectly. That's the kind of shit I respect. I don't know. I tend to like a little earnestness in my political candidates. So we're talking to R. Delgado here and the Department of Liberty. They know exactly how this thing works, especially with Luther in charge now. We'll be scratching their back, and let me tell you, the DOL knows just how to scratch ours. I'm not sure I follow. You'll get it eventually. Gotta go. Need to win over some rubes. Message with updates. All right, well, let's look. We can't do anything with political bias over 45%. She is not idealistic, individualistic, free-thinking, or anti-authoritarian, and she didn't say anything bad about us. There's nothing that we can do. Support. All right, so let's take a look here. There's a few others. So we've got Morton Dahl here. Morton Dahl has got 3 strikes against him. So we're going to go ahead and flat out condemn him. Goodbye. She's very good at sociopathy. I suppose that's true. So we've got Kurt Weiss here. He's got 2. We've got that donation, and then we've got the politics on reducing the size of government here. So we could refuse to support him. Here's the thing, though, right? He's an extremist. So, I mean, yeah, let's just go ahead and refuse to support him. All right, let's keep looking. Because basically it gave us one... All right, so we've got Sherman, who is a fairly valid conservative party. He's only got one. So we could absolutely say that we're going to remain neutral. And we should. Edelweiss. Nice. So he's got one strike against him. He is conservative at 32%. This guy has got one strike against him, and he is liberal at 23%. So these two are kind of either end of the traditional liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, without using those words, kind of spectrum. And then we've got Patty Neal, who we had to agree for. So we'll go to Henry Roy here. Henry is no bueno. He's got 3. So we'll condemn him. So basically what happened was we ran into one person to support and 2 people that we were supposed to remain neutral on, basically, by the way that it's called. But we can take a hit to compliance if we want to and push our agenda a little bit. It may piss off the boss. So, like, if I said remain neutral across the board, for instance, that would be one thing. I could also come through here and say support all 3. Also possible. I would take a hit on my compliance, but I don't think I would dip down below the level where I wouldn't be able to do it. So let's... Yeah. Tell you what. Let's support all of them instead of remaining neutral. Because the only other person... Like, I don't really want to support Neal. But I had to, because I couldn't choose a power for her. So I'm going to choose to support these other 2 to give her some actual competition and still give the American people a choice. Because we have both sides. And we've tracked all 3 of them. We're going to get 2 of them definitely wrong. But I think that we can take the compliance hit. Yeah, here we go. Appropriate decisions, 5 of 7. We missed one little piece of evidence. That was probably Boo's thing that he was talking about with the that it was an anti-DOL sentiment. It's kind of subjective. But look, we only lost 4. We're still at a positive on it. So my decision for Sherman was support, and I was wrong. Castro was support, and I was wrong. Giving some choice, I don't think it's necessarily terribly wrong. But see, we still went up. We didn't lose anything. We still got our bonus. We got our money. You know what we didn't really look at, though, was the news. Let's look at the news. Your guide to the 2028 election. Sherman Stone, the military needs more support. The Hearts of Oak mercenaries were extradited, and Cinco LLC unveils the smartphone breathalyzer. That's kind of cool. Kurt Weiss, DOL support quietly refused. Jimmy Charles attended a successful rally that evening. Morton Dolls, we condemned him and forced him out. Sherman, support's growing by the day. Castro, he spent the day completing photo ops. Henry Ray, we knocked him out. And Neal attended a successful rally that evening. So the fact that we knocked 2 people out means that we're making some moves, even though we're supposed to be pretty apolitical about this. So I guess I was wrong about Neal just disappearing. I know. She just came out of nowhere. But honestly, I thought the same. I blame the voters. You always do. Well, she has a pretty idiotic platform, so don't exactly blame you. Expressing a strong, biased political opinion in the workplace, Hayseed? I believe that's against the departmental regulations. Expect a visit from the Compliance Enforcement Division. Do you seriously have a problem with me? Are you suggesting this is somehow personal? Just doing my duty as a honest employee of the Department of Liberty. What does that guy even do all day? I get the sense he just follows me around. Oh, you have a fan. Yeah, seems like we do have a fan. All right. The only difference between him and a real fan is we can turn the other fans off. Well, I guess you can turn these fans off too. You just need to find the right light switch. So we got a new message from Renegade. To no one's surprise, Patricia Neal is looking like the biggest threat. She's a populist candidate, but has no major party support. So her real money and influence must be coming from somewhere else. Keep an eye out. Yeah, I am keeping an eye out. Because I am indeed concerned. How about 2? Even better. Yeah, you gotta watch those sociopaths, man. Can't trust them. Alright, if we take a look at our monies... Ah, well, never mind. So check the integrity and neutrality of news journalists. Like actual neutrality or like supposed neutrality? Let's see. The DOL needs to know which media sources we can use and which we can't. Seb, are the ones that we can use the ones that are neutral or the ones that aren't? I need you to answer that. Are we going to use the neutral ones or the biased ones? Renegade wants people to know just how compromised some news agencies are. And Dennis Zook says, important people need to know how many journalists to pay. No point in waste money. Which is true. If you're going to bribe people, why bribe people that are already going to do what you want them to do? Let's get connected here. All right. So if a political position is over 83% conservative, but only if the parent company's value more than doubled from 3 years ago, or if it's over 83% liberal for the same reason, or if they wrote over 45 stories on one topic, but only if they're being told what to write. That's interesting. That's a whole bunch of stuff to check out. Oh, Daniel, our Bay's partner. He's been interesting. We've protected him once, and then we've played it straight along the rules for all the others. So political position, 1%. Nothing to see here. Ari DeVries, news journalist, only makes $3,000 a year. She's an expert bargain hunter. She only writes with her right hand. That's normal. She irritates others by imitating them and is extremely volatile. She's 82% liberal, and we're looking for over 83%. Let's take a look and see if she's written over 45 stories on a topic. Has the right gone too far this time? Troubling signs in this new report. Check out our breaking story on the Senator Selway scandal. Unbelievable arrogance. Great work on the Diaz thing. You won't even believe how many hits we got. I'm serious. I'll get Rex to send you the ad revenue numbers. Anywho, the parent company has units to move in the filter purifier branch, so we'll need you to cover a few more articles on the water crisis. And if we look at the most common topics covered, she's not really being told what to do. They want her to write another one, but she's only written 2. And she is not over 83% in either direction, so there's nothing here. She can go back to writing things with only her right hand. Harold Rudolph. 92%. Let's keep that in mind. So he is over 92% liberal. And has his parent company's value more than doubled from 3 years ago? Well, 3 years ago was 17,000. So it has not more than doubled, because doubled would be 34. So we're going to have to pass it. Let's see. He's mostly writing about conservative incompetence and conservative scandals, which you would expect at 92%. So Harold Rudolph, news journalist, makes $48,000 per year. He's paranoid about germs, has a strong belief in horoscopes, often misinterprets phrases. The most common editorial response to his stuff is, "You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means." But he can't identify the movie that it's from. So, okay, nothing there. Julia Grimm. Now that's a great name. She's a new journalist, makes $97,277 per year. She constantly winks at people. She has an irritating laugh. She's easily impressed, and she frequently smokes pipe. She smokes the pipe, you guys. Do you think that means the old marijuanas, the cannabis, the pots? Does she take more than one pot at a time? Or does she have like a meerschaum pipe and get her Sherlock Holmes on? I suppose it's not mutually exclusive. All right, so her political position, 87%, so she's definitely over. Let's take a look here. Solid hit piece, but I don't think it's as scary as it could have been. Was Raving Lunatics too subtle? I think so. Maybe try Sick Psychopaths or something like that. I mean, what do I know? You're the writer. No, I appreciate the feedback. No problem. And always remember, facts don't matter if you don't hit the reader in the gut. That's terrible. Man, Free Press, don't act like that. We rely on you to know things. So please stop lying to us. Please just stop playing on the emotions at the expense of facts. You can play on the emotions with facts. That's cool. Impress upon us how important these things are. But don't just sensationalize things to fill up the 24-hour news cycle. All right, let's take a look here. So she's definitely over 87%. Has her parent company doubled from 3 years ago? Actually, I guess this is really 3 years ago. I was thinking like back a year. This would be 3, but this is really only 2 years ago. So has it more than doubled? Yeah, absolutely it has. Okay, so we'll need to go back to the other one and do the same thing. But let's go ahead and midstream that. There we go. So let's go back to this other one. Not Julia Grimm. Harold Rudolph with his monkey head. And 13, yeah, it's the exact same thing. So, same thing, other side of it. Julia and Harold, you're getting all the wrong attention. All right, so Annika Berg in Flint, Michigan. Looks like she has been drinking the water. $42,000 a year as a news journalist. She speaks with her mouth full. She usually dresses pretty sharply. You would never know it from this wrinkled up polo shirt she's got on. She is crippled by indecision, and she has an enormous personal space bubble, which I guess I can empathize with. 70 or 82% is not enough to trigger either one of these. So has she done more than 45 stories on one topic? You bet. Has she been told what to write? We can't tell. Has the left gone too far this time? Troubling signs in this new report that's identical to another tweet that we saw. And check out our breaking story on Congresswoman Osterling scandal, incredible self-importance. Exactly the same. I mean, it's like this template is exactly the same as another one. But sadly, nothing to report on. With one person left to look at, Daniel Omalu, the person I've been saving to the end because I thought he would probably be the most interesting person to read. He's involved with our meta plot. So he is 42% liberal, so he's certainly not as out there as some of the other people that we've seen. He is concerned about the solid waste crisis. Fair, we make a lot of trash. Where are we going to put it? Military spending, yep. Conservative incompetence, conservative scandals, political disengagement, liberal scandals. Well, okay, so he's definitely got a preference there. At least he covered some of those. Not very many, dude. It's a token. Are you serious? You're firing me? I tried to warn you. No one wants to read about missile testing or where their garbage goes. We need friction or we're dead in the water. But that's important stuff. You know that. I do, and I think they do too, but they still don't want to know. For what it's worth, you're a great reporter, but that's just not what we need to stay afloat these days. Well, he hasn't written over 45 stories on one topic, but it's interesting that we found out that he's being fired, even though he's a good reporter by all stretches, but he's telling people things that they don't want to hear, and he's getting shit canned for it. That's rough. All right, let's go sell some data. We got to sell to Dennis. Who are we going to sell to Dennis? I don't even really remember which one was which, so I guess we already sold it. And then we can sell the other one to... I mean, it doesn't really matter. Let's just get some money out of it, and we're going to get better money by selling it to Snow Owl. Yeah, although I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, start blogging or something like that, man. It is hard in the age of internet to shut up somebody who has something to say. And if they have the skills and contacts, they'll go small news publishing. That's not a big deal. That happens all the time. So we're up to $61,000 in cash. That's nice. Looks like we got a message. Hey, kiddo, how are you feeling? This is our sister. Doing great. Yeah, great. I know you're doing great. You've got an awesome salary. Well, we told her if she ever needed money, because we found out she was in trouble. A great house. Etc., etc. But how are you feeling? Yeah, I knew she was going to say that. You seemed kind of distant the last time that we spoke. Let's be honest with her. Ah, crap. Well, let's not push her away. I'm great, I promise. Okay. Man, your family knows. Even if you don't want your family to know, your family knows. Like always, let me know as soon as you're not. I expect we're going to have our great upset moment at some point in time where we're going to be pushed beyond our limits to handle things. If you'll remember the very, very beginning level of the game, there was some weird-ass hacker shit going on. And I'm not sure that we're not going to be a part of it. So, give me just a second. I'm going to grab a beverage. I'm a little parched from all the talking, and then we will continue on into the next day. Got a delicious adult beverage. So let's drink and go to work at the same time. Tuesday. Sorry to hear about your election campaign, Kurt. Well, we remember Kurt, don't we? He was the millionaire from Vegas who was a little out there. Kurt the Vice exits presidential race, says the news. Well, while they're talking, let's check the news. Bangladesh flooding. Largest refugee crisis in history. How do mountains flood? That sounds terrifying. Hydrogen fuel cell sales in cars reach 1 million. Hopefully they found a way to keep it from burning too much. Doesn't have to be explosive if there's a nice way to control it or insulate it or various other ways. You can make it fairly safe. China constructs the largest particle accelerator. Richard Castro, ignore Neil's hate rhetoric. That sounds like an escalation. And Kurt Weiss exits the presidential race. Sorry to hear about your election campaign, Kurt. Who knew a Guns for Toddlers platform could fail? Oh, that? It was just a publicity stunt for my business anyway. And did it work? Fuck yeah, it did. Glad to hear our country could be of service to you. You and the DOL haven't done too badly out of it either, Frank. Especially with these medical records that you're getting now from the Department of Health. Not to mention the international ones. How did you swing that anyway? Just good old-fashioned negotiation. Diplomacy. You know, actually talking to people. Diplomacy. The kind with a big stick. I think I know the salt you mean. So now we're looking at people's health records. Is it getting creepy yet, guys? Does the government know too much about these people? The answer may surprise you. Okay, crew, we finally verified the descriptions from the Hearts Oak mercenaries. Although not extremely detailed, they give us an okay picture of who hired them for Prague. I don't know if he is or isn't. If he is, he's inverted on the political axis. But it's possible. I would have said that the Elon Musk analog would be the Microsoft kind of a guy. Because Musk has decided to get political in several situations by donating power gear and stuff like that. As you know, the DOL strongly suspects that they're connected to the Cabal. We've narrowed down the list of suspects, and the ones in your shortlist are the closest matches. Using our new medical record access, we'll need to find the culprits as soon as possible. After a lot of waiting, this could be a real leap forward in nailing some of these Cabal sons of bitches. In short, this is a high priority. Now remember, a decade ago, this Cabal was responsible for causing 3 nuclear reactors to melt down, requiring the evacuation of over 3 million people. So, let's see how things are going. We'll just get logged in system. Hi, peepers. Michael Knight, logging in. Medical records. Recent patient histories containing ailments, treatments, and outcomes. Departmental AI also generates a health score and estimated lifespan prediction. I'm assuming we won't want to elect anybody that's going to die in office. Extradite. Department applies diplomatic pressure on suspect's home company to transport them to us. Yikes. Abduct. A team of DOL agents capture suspect and transport them to a safe location for questioning. So, rendition. At least they called it abduct and program name Black Van. They are straight shooting when they tell us it's an abduction. Nothing about extreme rendition. Triage. Use the descriptions to identify Cabal lieutenants. The Hearts of Oak's mercenaries gave us descriptions of those who hired them for the Prague attack. Prague attack, I suppose, not Prague. The DOL strongly suspects that these 3 are connected to the Cabal. We've narrowed down the list of suspects, and using our new medical record access, we need you to find the culprits. All right, so what have we got going on here? We've got 4 names that we need to search for. We are looking for taking medicinal marijuana, broken arm or severe cough with certain names, or an interest in combat sports with having visited Prague. All right. Well, let's just start here with Maria Marco. Maria Marco of Durango, Mexico. She's a professional organizer. She makes $87,000 a year. She spends over an hour a day taking selfies. She knows the Lion King line for line, but let's be honest, who doesn't? She's obsessed with the royal family, but it doesn't tell us which royal family. And she has an uncontrollable phobia of wide open spaces. All right. So, she's definitely been to Prague. And does she have interests in combat sports? Let's see here. Currently messaging a name that we are not following. Mixed martial arts? Yes. So we'll go ahead and link combat sports with Prague. That's 1. Has she had a broken arm? Absolutely she has. Can we link it to a name? We have a Enrique Rosa. Here we go. We have G. Ikovic. If you'll remember, that was one of the mercenaries. So that's 2. And then I didn't see anything about any of the others. The Kerfafon, the Atalaya, or the Gravenstein, or Himeji. So that's 2. We'll come back, but that's 2. All right, what else do we got going on here? Oliver Matthew of Sarasota, Florida. He's a carpenter, makes $31,000 a year. He has a crush on his mother. He's a member of Trail Life USA. He enjoys schadenfreude, but we all do. That's the definition of schadenfreude, is enjoying the misery of others. And he's obsessed with death. He's currently watching a live stream about a heavyweight title bout. And he's all about the medical marijuanas. Status, continual improvement. That is as generic as it gets. All right, let's see if we can link his name to anything. We do know that Jay Spawns was somebody that got killed. This is all the way back a week ago. So we're looking for any of the other ones. But I think Jay Spawns was one of the ones that we were actually specific. Yep, it was one of the ones we were specifically looking. So Jay Spawns with medical marijuana. Boom. Went to Prague. Heavyweight title bout. That's an interest in a combat sport. And then let's look and see if we can see any of the other ones here. There's Iflamingo Rosa. No. El Romero, Uche, Bobby, or Bondarchuk. No, none of those are the ones that we're looking for. None of these are locations. So that's 2. He's exactly identical to the first person that we looked at in that respect. Alejandro Angel of Cuba. He's a milliner, makes $49,000 per year. He was a teacher's pet. He's often exasperated, as teachers' pets so often are. He likes to procrastinate, and he enjoys spending time in museums. Jay Spawn is the wrong name. He has a severe cough. That's something that we're looking for. Decongestant recovered. But we can't link it to Jay Spawn there, and there's nobody else to link it to, so that's not a thing. We can take a look here and see if there's anything out here. There's a Gravesen, but we were looking for Gravenstein. There's nothing about Himeji or Kerfafarian or Atalaya, so there's nothing here that we need to pay attention to. No match. Let's come down here and check out Logan Zwak of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's a student, makes $22,000 per year. He has various medical problems. That's pretty generic, right? Various medical problems. He has above average intelligence, he's antisocial, and he plays video games. So basically, this is every person that's on Twitch. He's checking out current sumo rankings. That is a combat sport. Has he been to Prague? Does not look like we are able to tell. Honestly, I think you're fine. It didn't look like a rash to you, the thing on my shoulder? Not at all. But it was all red because you kept scratching at it. You're right, I might have damaged it. I better get it checked out. Well, I think his various problems may be self-inflicted or psychosomatic. Mild fever, given aspirin. Sty removed. Itchy shoulder, advised to stop scratching. Alright, and none of the keylogging reports work for it. Octavianus was not one of the people that we were supposed to be looking for. It was supposed to be Spawns, or Ikovic, or Zadaru, or Kuiper, all the mercenaries that we had met before, so there's no match here either. Alright, let's go ahead and hop across the pond here and look at Kader Lawan. He's from Maradi, Niger. He is a substitute teacher, makes $23,000 per annum. He often loses his keys. He cannot stand writing on lined paper. Well, clearly he's already a monster. He's excessively polite, and he's constantly chewing gum. If we look at the person that he's talking to, Zikovic, that's not one of the people that we're looking for. Medical marijuana for seizures, 80% improvement. That's pretty good. Definitely a good reason to be taking it. But he hasn't talked to anybody that we need to be concerned about. Political position in U.S. politics is not anything that we really need to be following. There's nothing about Kerfafan or Atalaya or Gravenstein or Himeji at all here. So this is all just so much no match. Okay. We're making progress. Svetlana Alexander. I believe we've actually dealt with her before. She's from Russia. She's a musician. She makes $5,000 per year. She's an enthusiastic dancer, the best kind. If you can't be skilled, at least be enthusiastic. Apologizes unnecessarily, I'm sorry to say. She's devoted to pets, and she recites incorrect trivia. Did you know that trivia is actually Greek for small. She typed Ataturk. Well, that's not something we're looking for. We're looking for Atalaya. But in Kuiper, yes, that's the person we need to be looking for. Let's take a look here. Broken leg, sure. Light cough, neither one of those trigger. Gastroenteritis, no. So none of those are things that we're supposed to be looking for. So there's no link here. Great performance the other night. Hey, thanks. But you know, when I told you to break a leg, I didn't mean literally, right? Haha, good one. I haven't actually heard that one dozens of times yet. So this is all a false positive as well. All right, let's come over here and take a look at Li Jin. Li Jin is from China. She's a housewife. She makes no monies. She grinds her teeth, which is called bruxism. She was adopted after her parents died. She treats people badly, but wants to be treated well. This describes most children. And she leaves the bathroom stall unlocked, hoping that she'll get a little lucky. She did have a heavy cough. It's not the same thing as a severe cough, so I'm not going to trigger it. Well, I normally wouldn't. I think heavy cough and actually talking to Goran Ivkovic, however, is important. So let's go ahead and link these two. Heavy cough's going to be good enough for severe cough, I guess, because at least it's that person. All right. Also notice that typed Kerfafon. That's a thing that we need to use Black Sheep tool on. So it's looking not good for this lady. Whatever happens, I need you to keep quiet on this. Understood? Yes, understood. Good. We'll be holding on to your brother for a little longer. Okay. Well, that's not good. So that's two. We could send an agent. We could extradite her or abduct her. I think we want to try expediting her. Extraditing her. I didn't see anything else that we could be using. I don't see Atalaya. I don't see Gravenstein anywhere. I don't see Himeji anywhere. Nothing about combat sports. So I think extradite's about the best that we can do. Let's see if we can convince them to send her to us. All right, Jin Takagi. Let me select Jin Takagi. So Jin Takagi is a professional gambler. He makes $12,000 a year. He's not a very good professional gambler when you look at it that way. He has a squeaky laugh. He's talking to Gary Busey right now. He texts people uncontrollably. He doesn't know how to tell his left from his right. He never learned to hold thumb and forefinger out and see that the left side makes an L. And he prefers to wear red, even very light shades of red. He calls pink light red. What a weirdo. So take a look here, and we can see that he has a broken arm. Internal fixation surgery is scheduled. Broken arm's important because we can tie it to his World Judo Championship. No, we can't. Those two don't link together. We're looking for... Nope, nothing's really going to work here because we'll be looking for these names. None of these names showed up. Gary Busey is not one of them. Combat sport, we're visiting Prague, but he never went to Prague. Nothing about Kerfafon, Atalaya, Gravenstein, or Himeji. So, nothing there that we can really use. Wait, we have one. What happened with that? Where did we get the one pip from? That's weird. I know I clicked on it. There we go. It cleared it now. Okay. So, no match. Taku Tanaka. He's a webmaster. He makes $50,000 per year. He paces when he's thinking. He can impersonate animals. I mean, I can impersonate animals. Maybe not successfully, but I can make the sound a giraffe makes. And that was my impression of a giraffe. He once ate 11 churros, and he speaks with an unintelligible accent. Okay, well, good to know. He has PTSD, so he takes medical marijuana. He has steady improvement. Well, good for him. He talks to Kate Zidane, who is not one of the ones that we're looking for. We're looking for a T. Zdaru. If we come over here, we see that glowing road waits, unlike this lazy homework mission. Our short computer responds, unlike the only LA scary screwdriver our industrial rubber band spins. Walks following this normal screwdriver, only cool project plays towards computer. Her silly hat, the hard tacks moved beneath the excellent cheated fruit. That complex skateboard eats inside skateboard. This short light bulb, your cool green light bulb, is wandering near this unreal mountain. But none of those are the keywords that we're looking for, so we can go ahead and say no match. So, we've only got 2 others to take a look at here. We can go back to Maria Marco should we choose to. Now, Maria Marco's got 2, so we're going to go ahead, and I was really hoping that we would get somebody with an abduct, so let's double check this. I was really hoping for an abduct. Maybe we've missed something. So, G. Ikovic is currently linked to her broken arm. Okay. We have an interest in a combat sport and going to Prague. And we have nothing on Kerfafan Atalaya Gravenstein. Not like a name or anything. Yeah, here we go. The name for this person is Dr. Splorch Rielson. Splorch. Sure, why not? No Gravenstein or Himeji, so I mean, that's all we can do is extradite. We can look at the last person, hopefully we'll get it. I feel like there's somebody that we need to be sending over there, or we are missing an important piece of evidence. We've only got 2 here. So let's see here. He's got his medical marijuana is tied to J Spawns. Alright, we've got Prague tied to the heavyweight title bout. And again, I see nothing about Kerfafan, Atalaya, Gravenstein, or Himeji. So, extradite's all that we can do. I feel like we missed something somewhere, but we'll see. Maybe they just wanted us to look. It's interesting to think about it in terms of what it would be as a game and what it is somewhere else. See, we did just fine. So the game was just trying to make us doubt ourselves. And it worked. Because that's how games are. Alright, let's review the suspects here. Everything was fine. Plus 29% compliance change. When they're really big like that, it makes me think, you know, we could probably do a playthrough on this where we purposely were a mole and sabotaged the shit out of the department. I'm wondering if the game allows for multiple endings like that. So we're extraditing Oliver. Svetlana is removed. Taku is removed. Logan is removed. Li Jin was extradited. Jin Takagi was removed. That gambler. Extradition denied. She's now protected by international law. Interesting. And Cater was removed, and Alejandro was removed. Somebody was protected. That seems alarming. Officer Knight, a word. Oh, Nita. So have you dug up anything good on me? Well, as a matter of fact, I've had a tip-off from an anonymous source. Apparently, you have been expressing biased political views in the workplace. Anonymous source, huh? I could say, nope, never happened. I don't think so. I could say, yes, it was everybody. But look, man, this right here admits culpability. This is why you should never, ever, and I mean ever, talk to a police officer. The second, if you get pulled over and they say, do you know how fast you were going? And you're in a 60-mile-an-hour zone, and you say, yeah, I was only going like 63. You just admitted to a crime. Never mind the fact that if you had gone 60 miles an hour, you would have been smashed by all the traffic coming up from behind you. You just admitted to breaking the law. Busted. So, I'm not going to cop to it. I'm not going to lie because she can catch me in it. For all I know, he's got a recording device. So we're going to say anonymous source, huh? Yes, any complaint made to compliance remains anonymous. The department is clamping down on this. We can't afford to have personal biases affecting our objective judgment. But isn't that exactly what we're doing? They're using our intuitions, our feelings as people, instead of just using a computer program. Now, we could say, are you kidding me? We could say, isn't that what this entire place is built on? But I don't think I want to do that. We gotta say, what a load of, but I don't think I want to swear, so we'll say, are you kidding me? Definitely not. Actually, I think you're absolutely right, Officer Bhaskar. In fact, I have an infringement to report too. Really? Would you feel more comfortable talking in a private place? No, here's fine. Okay. This is a problem. These are all dumb options. Calvin Prince tried to invite me to a Patricia Neal rally is probably the best option. Calvin Prince was in here yesterday telling everyone to burn their voting slips will not work. And I heard Calvin Prince ranting loudly about his love of communism the other day. I don't think will work either. So let's try this one since we have to make a choice. I see. Are you certain about this? It's quite serious. And the story continues to fuck me. Absolutely. He was very clear on the subject. Then I'll take this under advisement, but do remember that you're still under investigation. Think she bought that bullshit? Probably not, but she has to follow up on it. Hopefully it'll pull Calvin out of a golf round at least. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go as well as we really hoped that it would. So we've made some money. We're going up there. Let's come over here and take a look at Grade A information. We found some additional information about the Cloud Dweller investigations. So we captured the Hearts of Oak, the mercenary group responsible for the San Francisco attack plot. They inform on the Cabal lieutenants. Cabal lieutenant reveals major wealthy bosses. One is possibly the ringleader or even the Cloud Dweller. They are stockpiling for another attack. All right, well, let's head home. If I have to do one more pop culture listicle, and if we have to read one more pop culture listicle, we'll go just as crazy as you will. So do you want to do something tonight? Is it Saturday? Are we off? Are we going to go wrestle with this lady? Can't, I'm busy, or sorry, I have work stuff. I mean, let's say we're busy. Anything I can help with? Not really. Well, what are you working on? Just work things. Do you realize we've been, hanging out, I guess, for 2 years, and I still don't really know what you do every day? Do you not think that's weird? So I just don't want to bore you, or not really, or ... I don't want to bore you. Okay. Well, I'm going out, even if you're not. Okay, have fun. See you later. I mean, we're going to go wrestle on Saturday. It's fine. Sylvia Laura has hyper liked us. Let's see our dates. Well, she's gone. Looking for someone to bring to family events so they'll stop thinking that something's wrong with me. Sure, we'll talk to her. Whoops. Premium cat facts available at request. No, thank you. First day I'll carve our initials into it. No! Stop! Voted most likely to steal your man. Well, sorry, Rin. Your parents will love me, but your neighbors won't. Okay, I kind of like that. All right. See our like backs. Lee Lin. I was really hoping, because I realized after I clicked on it that it was Lee Lin. Lee Lin is one of the people that whose names keep coming up. We need to be very concerned with her. She is not associated with Patricia Neal, but with the other lady who was a DC politician. I'm trying to remember. Is she going for the president? I don't know. She had a hate on for us when she actually seemed pretty above the law. We smacked her really good once by manufacturing some shit. We're up to Hedonist 17. Interesting. Good coverage. Screen patients on an organ transplant waiting list. So this is definitely how we're getting access to it. Insurance companies want to know who to drop from organ waiting lists. Well, I mean, if you're waiting on a heart and you won't stop smoking 4 packs a day, maybe you don't get the heart. Insurance companies shouldn't be making these decisions, so let's stop them. They probably shouldn't. Much money for medical record is like inventory of human body. And let's look up some stuff on Sylvia Laura. So really the only person we need to sell to is Renegade, which is fine. Alright, so if they smoke, but only if they have cancer, hepatitis C, heart disease, or diabetes, or if they drink or buy alcohol and have any of these, or sugary foods. Alright, well, it seems particularly restrictive to me, but let's take a look at Anastasia Lebedev. She's a healthcare consultant, so she really ought to know better. She actually probably has one of the more attractive randomly generated faces that I've seen in this game. Check her out. She makes $77,000 per year. She's unbothered by food stains on clothing. She's a keen astronomer. She loves the smell of book pages and claims to use second sight. Okay, that last one seems to come like out of nowhere. Are you ready for the big day? It's a miracle. I thought it would never happen. Oh, by the way, yes. Can we keep that cigarette I had between you and me? I'm so ashamed of myself, and it was a moment of weakness. I just don't want my family to find out. It would kill me to disappoint them like that. Hey, don't worry. I won't tell a soul. So I can understand, because she had immunotherapy for lung cancer and chemo for lung cancer, and then and a lung transplant scheduled, and she had a cigarette. She's eating broccoli and lima beans. She got a toy racing car and a fitness tracker. I think we can forgive her a single one. However, I'm still going to go ahead and take a picture of it. I just may not. You know, I'm not even going to do it. We'll just forgive her the one. That's fine. You get a pass this time, lady. Good on you, Anastasia. Quitting's hard. All right, Sylvia Laura. She's going to message us here in just a second. Let's read about her real quick. She's had her wisdom teeth removed. She had a wart removed. She had a cold. She's very conservative. She's into paleontology, surgical procedures, weather, clickbait articles, philately, and the election. So, she likes to collect postage stamps, huh? Let's talk to her. Hello! Hey! I hate that every time I come up here to do something, it pops up. How are you doing? Pretty good, or kind of rough. I just had my wisdom teeth out. Or bored. Let's say we had our wisdom teeth out. That's a tough experience, but you'll get through it. I've had mine out, so we can compare notes. Let's see. If you could be any animal, what would you be? A rhino, a slug, or a pterodactyl? I mean, yeah, pterodactyl, because she's into paleontology. Of course, they spelled it in the British format, which bugs the shit out of me, but whatever, right? Aw, dinosaur lover. Always a pleasure. Okay, weird question, but how important are traditional values to you? Well, she's conservative. And we could say, who needs them? The future's around the corner. I don't think that'll work for her. They're what America needs right now, which probably get me points instead of removing points. And how do you even define traditional would probably be something weird. Let's just go ahead and say that's exactly what America needs right now. We're just playing to it at this point in time. If only more people thought like you. See, she wants me to agree. The other one, okay, I'm exhausted from work. How about we get brunch on Monday, okay, for you? Okay, so we're up to 20. All right, well, let's go ahead and get rid of this then. All right, what do we got here? We've got Gareth Butler. Gareth is a philatelist, so he's a stamp collector. That's weird that that word came up twice here. She knew we were going to say yes. So he makes $35,000 a year. Well, 36. He spent a couple bucks on Starbucks. He rolls his eyes when bored. He's naturally suspicious. He has an old family vendetta, which I think makes him very interesting, and has a birthmark on his thigh. It's going to be amazing having this new lease on life. I know it's such a blessing. After years of being careful, I'll finally be able to eat whatever I want again. No more steamed vegetables. Well, you're fucked, buddy. Heart disease, pacemaker, heart disease, angioplasty, heart disease, heart transplant. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, no. He bought some Stonewash jeans. He bought a recliner armchair with fridge from the Sittin' Professionals. He bought 9 air fresheners and 24 glazed donuts from Fat Circles. Buddy, you're not fulfilling your good faith side of this. You're in some shit now, son. So let's go ahead and link the glazed donuts. Those are the sugary foods that we're looking for. He's not smoking, he's not drinking or buying alcohol that I can tell, but that's definitely it. So that's one important thing that we've got. Nina Ivanchenko. She's a welfare officer. She's suspected of arson. Look at that smirk. She's like, arson? Who? Me? She's massively overconfident of her own intelligence. She inadvertently sounds angry and rarely washes her sheets. She bought 1 home will kit from So You're Gonna Die, a picture frame, 2 smoke detectors, 4 tickets to Rome, and a red sweater. She's got type 2 diabetes, and she's waiting for a pancreas transplant. There's nothing here that makes me think that she is going to do any of the prohibited stuff. So, nothing there. And then Martin Shrews. That hair, Martin. He's a front-end developer, makes $54,600 a year. He's been scuba diving instructor since 2016. He graduated magna cum laude. He is an open-source software contributor, and he doesn't want any children. He is 26. We expect him to live 28 years. He's got Hep C, and he is waiting for a liver transplant. He bought an inflatable pool donut, a pterodactyl drone, a stream of falling down, and a can of Vesuvius Golden Ale. He bought a $3 can of booze. And normally that should go ahead and disqualify him from it, but I don't know, man. Falling down makes me think that he may go crazy. Liver transplant, are we going to hold the 1 can of booze against him? I mean, I didn't hold smoking against the other girl, but she's hot. Well, we only need to give 1, and we have 1. Let's verify that's what they want. We'll log into Rialto. Yeah, we only really need 1, so alright, you get a pass. I don't see a point in reporting anything else that... I don't know what we need. Alright, so how about Vinicus Fonseca? Art critic last successively incorrectly accused bank robbery. How do you get out of that? You certainly don't get a job at a bank. Pays taxes on time and struggles to say no. He's got polycystic kidney disease. He's on ACE inhibitors and hemodialysis and is waiting for a kidney transplant. Has been getting cranberry juice and garlic cloves and apples. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, a wine lover's guide. Well, maybe you just love wine. That's not the same thing as buying booze. And an OK Blue Jays cap. Thought getting out of bed was hard before. Someone tell the Blue Jays that I'm dying and maybe it will inspire them to make it past the second. Yeah, he's 43. We're only predicting 3 more years of life on this guy without it. But he, not buying any smoking, not buying anything for smoking. He did not actually buy or drink alcohol from what we can tell. And there's nothing about sugary foods here unless we're counting cranberry juice, but I don't think so. So we'll just leave it. Let's get in here and sell this stuff on Rialto. And we'll sell it to the Resistance. There we go. All right, let's go to work. Taking the metro. September 18th, 2028. It's a Monday. All right, now it's getting good. And while he's going to talk about that, we are going to read the news. American solid waste crisis. We knew it was a thing. 10% of global economy now in the blockchain. Well, that's not true right now. And blockchain seems to be getting less and less used, but let's be honest. It's not like it's not going to get used. It's just that the massive hype bubble has died down. Robot bees begin pollination. Vera Rappaport exits the presidential race. We've only got 4 horses left in the race. Let's make sure the American people get a thoroughbred. Internal or external issues can't impair our future president's judgment. Sources tell us that at least one candidate is being sponsored by powerful lobbyists or is colluding with a foreign power. We need to find any evidence of this. Anything at all. On top of that, if you see something that suggests a candidate might not be fit for office, let us know. The country doesn't need more bums in power. Does he mean butts? Is he calling people butts? Hey, peeper! All right, let's go ahead and log in. Operation Peaceful Transition Phase 2. Only 4 presidential nominees remain, and our future president's judgment cannot be impaired. Let's take a look at the rules. The candidate has the same opinion as a lobbyist or diplomat, but only if they have dirt on them or if they were paid by that lobbyist. Any evidence of self-obsession, so if they went into any of these headquarters or embassies, if they have a lifespan shorter than 8 years, we don't need them in office. They won't live through 2 terms. Mental disorder or depression, or histories of substance abuse. All right. If you make the wrong decision on a suspect, you'll still get compliance for any suspicious evidence you found. Well, thank you, peepers. So these are helper suspects. So these are the type of people that would be manipulating other people. Let's take a look here. Alexandra Fong. We've seen her in this office before. She's the CEO of Demagogue Retail. That's why visiting the Vice Blitz headquarters or Demagogue headquarters are interesting. She makes $84 million per year and wears diamonds in her photos. She runs Demagogue with ruthless efficiency, maintains an extremely lavish lifestyle. She's extremely intelligent, and she's considered a close friend of the DOL. She received an email about monocles. An email about monocles. I'm not sure Ms. Rappaport can deliver. Well, instead, we can always deliver a certain video we have from a certain vacation to Hungary. I won't bore you with the details, but the important thing is that tomorrow at her rally, from now on, she must absolutely insist on those import tariffs. Are we clear now? So a little blackmail here for Miss Rappaport. Oh, Vera Rappaport. But she dropped out, I thought. Yeah, Vera Rappaport exited the race. All right. Internet bill, electricity bill, income payment. She makes $3 million every 2 weeks. Jesus. And donation to the American Excellence Fund. Okay. Well, I don't think Rappaport is one of those, but okay, good. So we know what we need to know from here. Let's go check out Kurt Weiss. Castro knows we have his psych evaluation. It's only a matter of time before he plays ball. We may have gone far too long without a war. My trigger finger is itchy. He made a campaign donation to S. Stone. An account fee, hospital fee, loan principal. All right. Let's go ahead and midstream this one. I want to hang on to that. And the thing about the psych evaluation. And he's boarded a flight to Washington. Okay. So let's take a look here. Vera Rappaport, which she just dropped out, but we know that she's being manipulated. So let's see what's going on. Trade war, bring it on. American businesses are suffering enough, which is why I'm doubling down on my import tariff policy. My supporters are the greatest people in the world. Anyone who disagrees is just a jealous snake in the grass. All right, let's quit out of this. We need to go back to Alexandra. I wasn't doing anything because it says that she exited the presidential race, but I mean, import tariffs. We'll hang on to that. And I guess we'll do American Excellence Fund, although I don't think anything is ever going to link to that. So, Miss Vera Rappaport. Reckless driving, unlawful use of a driver's license, and public indecency. She's going to live probably to almost 90 years old, so not so bad. She gets headaches and an eye twitch. Not so bad. Trade war, bring it on. Alright, notice she also visited the Vice Blitz headquarters. Does she have any evidence of self-obsession? Yes, she's narcissistic. So we'll go ahead and link narcissistic to Vice Blitz headquarters. And then we'll come over here and we'll use a black sheep tool as candidate has the same opinion as a lobbyist or diplomat. So we didn't really need to record that. And she definitely has dirt on her, so let's just go ahead and tag with black sheep right here. So that's 2. And let's take a look at Sherman Stone. We know we've got some shit on him. He typed Nintendo. He's been to the British Embassy. That's one that we need to look at. So let's take a look here. British Embassy, if he has evidence of self-obsession. Let's take a look here. I'll be brief. I respectfully decline your offer of funding on both moral and constitutional grounds. I'm happy to leave it there, but I should warn you if you contact me or my staff again, I will reporting you to the FCB and the DOL. Wow, he is not having it. He's got headaches. Alright, so we have no evidence of self-obsession. So it doesn't really matter that he's been to the British Embassy. The candidate has the same opinion as a lobbyist or a diplomat. We don't know anything about his opinions based off what they've given us. Nintendo, an email, some geo-tracking. There was a donation, but there's nothing about any sort of evidence, so there's nothing really to go on here. Can we assay Mox? That's interesting. Yeah, we can try. No linked data. Alright, well, we'll come back, but it's interesting that we weren't able to find anything. Let's look at Castro. Castro, he went to a rally, which is fine. He came from a charity bake-off. Alright, he's got depression. He's on antidepressants. He received a donation from Alexandra. So, I'm not interested, and you can tell your lapdogs the same. If I'm president, the US is staying out of all but the most crucial conflicts. Alright, so that's one opinion. He sincerely doesn't do the same one as Weiss, because Kurt Weiss wants another war. She only expressed an interest in tariffs. So I don't see anything to tag on here, because they don't seem to matter. Even though he's got a political donation from her, she doesn't say anything about staying out of conflicts. We can go back and look, but yeah, nothing at all about that. So, which is not surprising. The person I expect most things to come up on is Patricia Neal. This really seems to be, let's target Neal at this point in time. Stomach pains. She takes naproxen. Continued improvement. I just spoke with my good friend Matthew Pull from MatCorp, who's getting back on his feet, a true nation builder. We've let down our allies in the Gulf for too long and allowed rogue states to run wild. We have much, much bigger things to worry about than climate change. Our industrial growth must be protected. What happened to the America that ran the world? I say, let's bring her back. Would you even say that you wanted to make America great again? All right. It's still unbelievable. Your popularity is skyrocketing. I told you I've been doing this for years. It's only now that the audience is big enough for me. You realize that you might be the first president not from one of the two major parties in almost 200 years. There's no might about it. Okay, so we definitely have evidence of self-obsession. Did she visit any of these embassies or headquarters? She went to a town hall. That's not the same thing. I feel like there's nothing here for us to really get. Lifespan shorter than 8 years. Nope. Mental order or depression. We did have the guy with depression a while back. We need to go tag that. Or a history of substance abuse. Again, she's still the cleanest one, and I don't like it. All right, so if we go back to Richard, we know that he's got issues with depressants. So we'll hang on to that. What is... We could leak it. We could campaign against him. Do we want to leak that he's on antidepressants? You know what? I bet in 2028, every goddamn person's probably going to be on antidepressants. And if we go to Sherman, he's got headaches. He went to the embassy. We have no indication that I can see. No. No indication that I can see of having the same opinion of anybody, of self-obsession, even though he visited the British embassy. Lifespan, we have no indications because we have no medical records on him. Nothing about mental orders, and nothing about a history of substance abuse. Except, we kind of do. Castro knows that we have his psych evaluation, so that's just about the depression thing. There's the campaign donation, so Kurt's definitely paying him, but we have nothing about his stuff. He expresses absolutely no opinions on anything. So, I mean, there's nothing that we can really do with Sherman Stone that it looks like. And there's nothing that we can do with Neil. Why does it feel like I'm missing so much stuff? Because there's just not much here. So we've tagged her with 2. Which is fine. She's already on her way out. The fact that we're going to go ahead and start a smear campaign doesn't really matter, right? Because she's already out. If we come over here, Richard Castro, we have the one thing that we could leak. I won't bore you with the details, but the important thing is tomorrow. She has to insist on it. Campaign donation to Stone. Castro, we have his psych evaluation, but it's just about this, unless there's something much deeper. So this guy wants to be fairly non-interventionist, which nobody expressed an interest in. Actually, he's expressing a counter-interest to Vice. Well, she paid him double what Vice did, so maybe that's the case. Good on them for standing up, though. You think you see a lot of emails like this in the government? Where they're like, no, I don't want your dirty money. Alright, so anyway, we're going to go ahead and leak it. Come in here and take a look at Sherman Stone. Geo-tracking. He's definitely got a thing, but there's nothing to link it to. I'll be brief. I respectfully decline your offer of funding. Happy to leave it there. If you contact me again, I'll tell on you. So... yeah, there's nothing going on here. We'll just go ahead and ignore him. And then we'll come down here to Patricia Neal, and we won't find anything for Patty either. Matter of fact, neither one of the people on the other side did either. Which makes me think that there's a really good chance that she is the mole. But who knows? She's got her grandiose needs. She is self-obsessed, but nothing about vice splits, nothing about demagogue, nothing about the Saudi embassy or the British embassy. I was hoping we would see something about the Saudi embassy over here. We've let our allies down in the Gulf, but no. None of these things, so we just have to ignore her too. Alright, let's see how... Oh, shit. It showed 4 helper suspects. We only came across 2. Can we go back? Oh shit, we've messed this one up bad. There were apparently people that we needed to investigate. Yeah. We missed 2 pieces of evidence. Aw, you can do better. Keep at it. Well, what did we miss? We completely missed... Ah, his remaining lifespan was shorter than 8 years. I didn't notice that. Again, she's still the perfect candidate, even though she's squicking me out really bad. But hey, whatever, we got paid. Some days it's all you can do. Get paid. Castro, leaked health records have damaged his candidacy. She continues to explode. That's terrifying. Vera was forced out of the race. And Calvin Prince finds and leaks the candidate's health records. So, Calvin Prince found it, even though we didn't. So, no major objections about interfering in the election process? Not yet. Besides, no one I support has been affected. Yeah, I thought that might be it. Hey, it's Charlie Douglas. The election is interesting. Who are you supporting? I'll vote, but I'm not supporting any of them. I've seen enough of politics to know exactly how little all this matters. I couldn't agree more. I'd ask who's gonna win, since the DOL probably already knows, but I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise. He's not wrong. After recent outbreaks, search for potential anti-vaxxer risks. Okay, so we've got 2 people that we need to do. Anti-vaxxers pose a major public health risk that must be preemptively eliminated. Even idiots have a right to privacy, or add these to valuable list of people who believe bullshit. This worth much to people who selling bullshit. Yeah, I'll bet. Okay. Boo says worth a shot. Granted, that's from a long time ago, but all of a sudden it fits. Cowardly, gullible, paranoid, and any history of refusing medical treatment or vaccines cause autism, vaccine overload, or government mind control, but only if they have children. Yes, well, there's something to be said about people who don't think that they ought to take medicine. So I won't stop this crusade until I'm dead and gone. I just blocked a mother who wanted to argue with me. Very clear, her child is on the spectrum. Do dogs need vaccines? I rest my case. Let's see here. Government mind control, truth, vaccines, windmill, skateboard, real news. Let's go ahead with government mind control. But we have no indications that she has children herself. And nothing about her refusing medical treatment. So, interestingly enough, She rarely reads. She subsists largely on jelly beans. She prefers rough toilet paper and likes staring at the moon. Well, aren't you special? Martin Alexander, business analyst, often exasperated, strangely deep anatomical knowledge, rarely wears underwear, hates the sound of chewing. He is methodical, cowardly, lyrical, ritualistic, and protective. Cowardly is an important one. Has he refused treatment? No. Doesn't look like it. Treatment. Analgesic, bandaged, rehydrating solution. So, looks alright. Nothing about vaccines or anything else. With his weirdly advanced knowledge of anatomy, I would expect that to be okay. Let's take a look at Kumar Devi here. Kumar, what's going on? He always subscribes to several online newsletters. He always knocks twice when entering homes. Knock, 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 penny. Knock, 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 penny. He has 4 birthmarks. Let's see here. He non-stop cartoons, Ape Men on the Moon, Vaccine Overload, a Study, and Fluoride Controlling Minds, an Opinion. He refused treatment for anti-inflammatory medication for his fever. Fever! Alright, so we don't know anything about children, so we can ignore the vaccine overload. But is he any of these? Yes, he is gullible. And he refused treatment. So we've got one person so far. We'll take a look at Sandeep Kamal. I had thought Sandeep was a man's name, but I guess it could be either, or I could be wrong. She was once colorblind. She uses long words to impress others. She often threatens to quit her job, but never has, and eats the same meal every day. She's refused a lot of treatment. Aspirin for chest pain, electrocardiogram for shortness of breath, chest x-ray for chest pain. Those sound like heart attack symbols or symptoms. Why? Here we go. We're going to go ahead and link paranoid. And then nothing about vaccines. So, and then we'll take a look at Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi, independent thinkers, homepage, truth seekers, message boards. Do vaccines cause autism? Fake news reporting an outbreak. Don't make me laugh. Surgeon General and her big pharmacy puppet master should be shot. Any school that wants to inject my kids with poison can go to hell. Hashtag homeschool. What? I mean, we're looking for vaccines cause autism as a thing over here. She has children. And then, yeah. All 3 of those should pretty much sell, I would think. Let's see. Sell data. Oh, yeah. We'll sell 1 to Sev. There you go, Sebastian. And we'll sell the other 2 to Dennis Zook for the extra money. You know what? No, we're not going to sell this one. We don't need it. I'm not going to make money off of other people's personal information if it's not necessary. I've been thinking, oh shit. That's a good sign? Or uh-huh? Are you even listening? I should go, uh-huh. Of course. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just wasting my time here. I never said that. Well, not in those words. I just feel useless right now. I came here because I wanted to make a change. We could say that she's making a difference, which is totally blowing smoke up her ass because she's just writing listicles. What did you expect? Or, hey, come on, you still can. Maybe. It just doesn't feel that way anymore. Yeah, tell me about it. October 3rd, 2028, Tuesday. Hi, everyone. Hi, Michael. Frank's over in the California head office, so I'm doing this one solo. Woo! You can do it! We've had a lot of reports about fake news and propaganda on social media. Some are being posted by bots belonging to lobbies. Others by real people who've been paid by foreign governments. Either way, the DOL can't let them influence our democratic process.
At least not until we've had a chance to.
Man, her buddy runs the thing, and she immediately gets out there and starts getting snarky.
I heard you had a word with Bhaskar.
Are you surprised?
Of course, I never thought you had a spine. Took me all day to set that bitch straight. At first she didn't believe me, but eventually my father spoke to her. A whole day, it must have been so hard for you, or running to daddy again.
How's your coffee, by the way? What's that taste?
I'm a generous guy, so I shared a few drops of liquid LSD with you. It should kick in any second now. I'm told this is a rather powerful strain. A little heavy on the anxiety and paranoia, too.
Are you insane?
I warned you before. Don't fuck with me, Hayseed.
Esther, did you hear that? Because we just got hit with acid. I'm kind of expecting,
yep,
the screen to start doing funky shit. Great. Now I can't even read. Mailing in. The rise of bots and shills is disrupting the democratic process, and more importantly, skewing it beyond our control. And you would think this is the kind of place where they have a fuck ton of cameras. I don't know if you realize this, but almost every commercial IP-based camera that's been produced in about the last 15 years or so includes a microphone. Now, there are a lot of places where it's not legal to record conversations unless both sides of the party agree to it. Washington, D.C. is not one of those places. Only one side needs to be aware at any given time. And all they really have to do is put it in your employee pamphlet that you may be subject to surveillance mechanisms for safety and security while at work. And they don't have to tell you that it's a camera, just that you've agreed to it. Identify which online commenters are fake, non-human, or foreign influencers. Some data on these suspects may be hidden, so make sure to use assay on relevant information to uncover more stuff. So, let's take a look at what we need to do here. If they have major spelling grammars or use web links, but only if they have strong political opinions or strong candidate preferences. Use it if they claim to be from the USA, if they're from another country. Use it if they have over 84% political bias or over 85 stories on one topic. If certain things happen. All right, let's begin the assignment. Mikhail Polvel. So, begin. Read your mission briefing carefully. Evidence might require specific conditions to be met before you can flag it. So, tune out the spin, get back to real American values with Sherman Stone, President of the People. Baltimore is always so lovely this time of year. Love my hometown. Mother America must be toughest on defenses and halt superior Russia powers. I love how it's like Mikhail Polvel. Block out the spin and return to real American values with Sherman Stone, President of the People. Right. So, right here, we're going to go ahead and do this one where he claims to be from the USA. He's definitely from another country. He's from Belarus. So, yeah, I'm waiting for the words to change on me, too, to be completely honest. All right, we'll come back to this one here in a moment. Romuald Bukhari. Holy fuck, that dude is round. Constantly wearing gloves, exceptional at shadow puppetry, clicks tongue constantly, and vindictive. Patricia Neal is the only one who can sort out the mess our country is in. The liberal march has to be stopped. If things are bad now, try and imagine in 5 more years. Liberal march must be stopped. In 5 more years. Okay, so here's my question. Major spelling or grammatical errors. I'm going to go ahead and call this one. There we go. We found some additional information here. All right. So, what are we looking for here? A payment here, electricity bill, internet bill, income bill, hospital. Okay. He's definitely over 84% political bias. Anything about R. Ustinov? No. J. Chalmers? No. Super Nintendo Chalmers? No. Deadlock Data? No. Polito Cert bot farm? Not that I can tell. 85 stories on one topic, only have posted 2 near identical social media posts. Liberal March must be stopped, over 88% right here. So, boom, black sheep on this one. Boom, got it. So we found the one here. We just need the one for threat or investigate. And we'll come back. Maybe we'll unlock some additional stuff. I do want to go back to the person that we just saw, though. I want to say that Mikhail Pavel had one that was also not good grammar. Tune out the spin, get back to real American values. He posted that twice. And halt superior Russia powers. Yeah, that one's a little off. Thank you. Income payment. Fortnite. M. Ustinov. We're looking for an R. Ustinov. All right. Political over. 85 stories. Yes, military aggression, and he did post president of the tune out the spin one twice. So let's go ahead and black sheep military aggression. Okay, so that's 2. I don't think we'll find any more here because that's the highest level we can get is investigate. So investigate that guy. All right, let's come back over here to Habib Khan. As an American citizen, I feel ashamed of our disgraceful treatment of our international friends. We need to change, and Castro is the only one I trust to get it done. Reasons to support Castro, just ask me 10. Just ask for me 10, yeah, well, busted. Has Peter spoken to you? Yes, he made it very clear. Yes, you'll be getting new instructions shortly from A. Chalmers. Now we're looking for J. Chalmers, Super Nintendo Chalmers. Let's see here. Policy on Yemen is over. Do we have any duplicates? We need change. No. As American citizen, no. Castro, no. So nothing about 2 identical social media posts. Nothing about deadlock data. Ustinov. But now that I think about it, back to Romuald. Oxford Examiner was one of them. Here we go. Over 84% political bias. Linking to Oxford Examiner. So that's to investigate. Okay. There was nothing there for Habib Khan. They showed us plenty of things. But, oh, no, here we go. Deadlock data. That was one of the ones that we were looking for, right? Deadlock data, okay. And over 84% political bias? You bet. Gotcha. All right. Anything over... Yep, we've got over 85, but nothing about duplicate posts. We do have a claim... Here's the thing, right? He's claiming to be a citizen, but you could be a citizen in the U.S. and live in Kuwait. It's not likely, but it's possible. So I'm going to pass on this claims to be in the USA. For now. All right, what else do we got? We've got Johannes Weber. He's a meat cutter in Wahiwa. Or Wahiawa. He wants the best of everything. He's a bad liar, holds grudges, tells jokes, and poor taste. If you care about our country, you care about this election, get in the game. I couldn't agree more. I don't care what your party affiliation is, one way or the other. If you care about your country, study, pay attention to what people are saying, go vote your conscience. We need more president with an harmonious integrity. Take Sherman Stone. I don't know what it is about Stone, but I like it. Well, let me investigate this because I think you're full of shit. All right. He's been trying to cover Steve Buscemi comebacks and hot sauces. Lovely. Anything about Ustinov? Right? Like the whole everything will be gone. Like I gave a whole speech and the dude wasn't there. I noticed he waited till our boss was gone though. That's for damn sure. He know what he doing for great justice and all that. All right, so over 86% political bias, sure. Anything about Ustinov? No, not that we're able to find. Oxford Examiner, Chalmers, Deadlock Data, the Polito Cert Bot Farm, none of that is covered here. So he just talks like shit. That's really what it comes down to. We can still go ahead and say major spelling grammar things with a strong political opinion, which we did. That's fine, but I don't think he's got anything. We'll ignore him for now, but I really don't think he has anything. How about Mikhail Andreas? Cable splicer. He has alarmingly long toenails, believes that the world may be flat, overheats easily, and prefers not to socialize. Politics in this country is a toilet, and Neil is the one to flush it. Is that like draining a swamp? Check out this video of violent pro-Stone supporters. Well, that's one we need to pay attention to for a web link, so I would say that that is a pretty strong political opinion, or at least candidate preference. This will work. There we go. Politics in America is a sewer, and Patricia Neal's the one to flush it. So we've got duplicates and Senate corruption. So we can black sheep on that one. And then, let's see here. Testing for response. Protocol ZX18 blah, 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 blah. Response. Politics in America is a sewer, and Patricia Neal's the one to flush it. Perfect. All right, and we can also deep link the bias for our Ustinov. But yeah, I fully expect something similar to happen. I'm actually a little surprised that all it's doing is just blurring things, though. I kind of expected a little more screen melting. So Luz Alfonso with the very bright hair. Never removes tags from clothes. Going blind. Picks nose compulsively. Openly donates to the Oath Keepers. No one makes American hot dogs and fries better than Joe's Hot Dogs and Fries. A real place. Remember the Grade A attacks. Never forget the Grade A attacks. Neil 2028, support the president or support them here. All right, so let's go ahead and assay this one. These two, just flip these two, the never forget with the remember. So those are going to be near identical. Over 85 stories on a thing, you bet. Interesting that they're really interested in global terrorism and Cloud Dweller, though. All right, so that's one. And then we've got assay for WebLink here. No claim to be in the USA. Over 84% political bias. Anything about Oxford Examiner, Deadlock, Polito? Nothing that I can see. So really it's just one. We'll come back. Just in case we've managed to unlock something, but probably we won't. How about Arkadiusz Kowalski? Permanent scar on the thigh, grinds teeth, considered to be an overachiever, constantly critiques others' efforts. Is no one but Richard Castro going to talk about the water shortages? Castro 2028. We're almost completely out of democratic options here. Do we need drastic measures? Well, the others, I don't even know where to start. Well, it's not a great grammatical check, but let's do it. Yep, more evidence. Excellent. A real human person, it seems like. Product refund dreadlock data. Not the same thing as deadlock data. Maybe? I don't think so, especially because they were actually located in the US, so they weren't from another country. All right, so 66%, so they will not trigger the over 84 political bias. Nothing over 85 stories on one topic. They're in the USA, so they just write like shit. There's no other data at all to back it up, so we're going to go ahead and discard this person. But yeah, since Luz is in Idaho Falls, I don't think it's very likely. What? No. We are not clicking on that. This is us. We don't want to look at our own record, right? Don't you think that would get us in seriously deep shit looking up our own stuff? Hint, it will get you in seriously deep shit looking up your own stuff. Sasha Patrick just saw the Stone speech. He absolutely knocked him dead. Downtown Atlanta traffic was bad as ever today. She is in Atlanta. Check out this video of violent pro-Neil supporters. Just when we thought Castro couldn't get any worse, I hear about this bot campaign. Downtown traffic in Detroit was bad as ever today. Interesting how it's done twice. That was September 26th. And 2 days later, Atlanta. Yes. So we're not going to click on it. I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to happen. Because that is probably a way to seriously fuck us. Okay. Why she? Hey, friend, routine conversation to learn speech patterns? Sorry, who's this? Your old friend, blah, 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 blah. Oh, hey, buddy, how have you been? Wait a minute, I don't know a blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sure seems like a bot, doesn't it? Alright, so, claims to be in the USA, only if from another country. We have no evidence that they're actually from another country. If we try and assay this, it doesn't say anything. But they, over 84 political bias, no, so can't do that. Over 85 stories on one topic, you bet. Nearly have two identical posts, which is fine, so we're still going to manage to use the black sheep tool on that one. So that got us one. And then we had the web link, which we searched for, claims to be in the USA. Well, they are in the USA, at least so far as we can tell. Political bias, no. So that's just one. That's fine. One is still a threat, so we'll come back for it. But it's still something strange. Elizabeth Victor. Not crazy about Richard Castro, but obviously supporting him in the next election. Your vote is important, even if there's no perfect candidate. Enroll here. The British spelling of enroll. Why is Florida weather so weird all the time? Yeah, right? Good question. So, definitely not over 84% political bias, just under 85 stories. Nothing about claiming, so we're just going to go ahead and pass on this one. Alright, and then we had... Yeah, we can go back to the other people now. Alright, so Habib Khan. Yeah. So we found one piece of evidence for Habib. We'll mark him as a threat. We'll go over here to Johannes Weber. And he had nothing. So we're going to go ahead and just discard him. Let's see here. What do we got for the others? I had to take a nice, delicious pull of my Angry Orchard Hard Cider Crisp Apple from Walden, New York. No one makes American hot dogs and fries better than Joe's Hot Dogs and Fries, a real place. So... claims to be in the USA, but we have no evidence that they're from another country because they're in Idaho. Major spelling, grammars, we already examined. Over 84% political bias, you betcha. And yet, no mention of Ustinov, Oxford Examiner, J. Chalmers, Deadlock Data, or the PolitoCert bot farm. So, just a one threat. It's gonna make me click on it. I don't think it'll let me end it without looking. So she's got one threat. Actually, we can, because we're a helper, so we don't have to look. Processing.
Processing. Processing.
We did not find 2 pieces of suspicious evidence. I would be willing to bet that that was probably on us. Missed. All right, we missed. Petronil's the only one who can sort out the mess our country is in. Claims to be in the USA. Oh, our country being the thing. I got it. All right, that's fine. I hate that there's not a scroll bar that I can actually grab on that. Yeah, same thing. As an American citizen. That's pretty ambiguous. Just because he's a student in Kuwait doesn't mean that he can't be an American citizen. But whatever. 22% compliance. It still gets us back up to 100% compliance. And we resisted the urge to click on ourselves. This will keep us from getting into some trouble, I hope. Looking up yourself is probably a big no-no. Shadow banned from further commenting on the online forums. Shadow banned. Does that mean that... Oh, we told Twitter to do it. Trace to a source appears to be international. Referred to a special unit for intensive investigation. Removed from the suspect pool. Returned to database. Referred to special unit for intensive investigation. Highlighted as an information risk. Return to database. Guy looks like Barry Bostwick. Are you okay, Michael? You're shaking. Like, a lot. Let's do the one with the one question mark. What? Jesus, alright. Do you want me to get a doctor? Goddamn, or what the who? Or I need to go. How about what the who? And we're just going to go home. All right, well, we got 400. It's going to be hard to read the news, but let's try. Global silver supply is nearly depleted. Is depression the biggest global disease? Election faces unprecedented false information campaigns and major food poisoning outbreaks. So let's go home. Hey, it's Esther. What do you mean you're not going to do anything? You knocked over a desk when you ran out. Everybody saw. What he did was totally nuts. It doesn't matter. No one's going to believe me after last time. Besides, his father will just step in for him. Well, you can't just leave it at that. Look at that. It's not spelled right. Are we hallucinating? Or is it just typos in the game like we've seen a few times? I know. So what are you going to do? I'll think of something. New message from Frank Talby. What happened today, kid? It's hard to explain. It definitely sounded like something. Apparently you were throwing furniture around? That's partly true. Well, are you okay now? I can't have my lieutenant be compromised like that. I'm fine, Frank. At any rate, compliance was already watching you closely, but that episode put you on seriously thin ice. You can't put a foot wrong from now on. I'm flying back tomorrow morning. Seems to me the best thing to do would be to try and get him after hours through Seb. Yes. You okay, Stretch?
I heard some things.
Why does everyone keep asking that? It might be. I think it probably is.
Because apparently you flipped out in the middle of an office. I'm fine. Well, the director doesn't think so. He's putting you on something a little simpler today. Basically, he ate out and something doesn't agree with his stomach. So now he wants the place responsible shut down. Well, okay, let's do it. It's definitely a new low, though. But it makes sense. We saw the news article saying something about food poisoning, right? Major food poisoning outbreak. So, find connections between certain restaurants and food poisoning. Our director experienced an incident after dining at one of these restaurants. He wants you to help shut them down. Luther Prince is using the DOL as a personal revenge tool, and the world needs to know. I agree. Restaurant will pay desperate cash to stop against... Wait, no. Restaurant will pay desperate cash to stop against being shut down. Which is probably true. They will pay desperate cash for that. Alright, we're looking for severe dehydration, temperatures over 101.5, or diarrhea for 2 days if they ate at the Al Dente, the Gurkha, or Yaroslav's Yaroslav's Authentic Tex-Mex. I don't think I would eat at a place called Yaroslav's Authentic Tex-Mex. Visited one of 3 restaurants before 7:45 p.m. on September 28th. Only if they visit a hospital or received antibiotics. Okay, well. Luckily, there's only a few places that it could be. Let's start at Hawaii. Gernhardt Ranier is a lampshade maker. He irritates others by imitating them. He's an obsessive fan of Richard and Mort, which I think is the same thing as Rick and Morty. He has awful body odor, and he's extremely accident prone. He had a rash on his arm. He took antibiotics and the rash go away. He has recurring anxiety and an annual checkup. So are you coming out tonight? Oh, I'm not sure where we're going. I'm thinking Al Dente. What about Arby's? You always want to go Arby's. Never lets me down. So, you think that he went? Well, let's see here. He visited one of the 3 restaurants. Not that we can tell. And we don't know that he had any of these other things. He did take antibiotics, but there's nothing here to link us into thinking that he did. So, okay, that's fine. How about Garden City, Kansas? We have Johannes Brandt. Hates going out alone. He's very touchy-feeling. He's been a drug addict for 9 years, and he's obsessed with celebrities. He has a chest infection, bed rest, steam vapor. He had a splinter under nail. Splinter removed, finger recovered. Wait, did they recover a finger, or did his finger get better? Diarrhea lasting 3 days, antibiotics recovered. That's what we're looking for right here. Alright, so what do we got here? It turns out that someone wants a gluten-free option, not naming any names, Randy. So we're going to Al Dente instead. Who's up for a few drinks after dinner at Kotu Pisir? God damn it, Randy. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and midstream tool on the diarrhea. Boom, diarrhea. Oh, man. All right. So let's see here. Rocco's Garage, Cesar's Patisserie, and 40 McGruber Street. So when you're sliding into first and your pants begin to burst, diarrhea. Diarrhea. Any diarrhea? He had severe food poisoning.
Wow, they just diagnosed it directly, huh? It's not really one of these other things over here. Broken thumb. Let's see. How are you feeling? Great. So stuck in the hospital. That really sucks. It's not as bad as it'll suck for Cesars when my story gets released tomorrow on fatlip.com. Wow, do you think he'll do anything? 12 million monthly views. You tell me. Well, that's not one of the restaurants that we're following, so goodbye to that suspected art thief there. Birgit Hess and Einar Heinrichsen seem to be twins. Well, when you're sliding into two and your pants are full of goo, diarrhea. Diarrhea. Yeah, we went to Yaroslav's Tex-Mex and then straight to the hospital. I'm so excited, finally going to try Yaroslav's. Don't go to Yaroslav's. But the dates are weird, right? Okay, oh boy, I can't wait to eat at Yaroslav's. Don't go to Yaroslav's. 2 days after that. And 2 days after that, so excited, finally going to try Yaroslav's. Really? I don't get it. All right, so sprained foot, back pains, vomiting, and severe dehydration, antibiotics. Okay, so got antibiotics, visited one of the 3 restaurants before 7:45 p.m. No, it was after 7:45 p.m. Yeah, I think they are a little out of order, and I don't know what's going on over here either. Let's see here. But she did have severe dehydration, and she did eat at Yaroslav's, so we can still do it. We just have to do it on the severe dehydration. When you're sliding into third and you feel a greasy turd, diarrhea. Diarrhea. Let's see here. Flu symptoms, bed rest, full recovery, sneezing, running nose, vomiting, 103-degree fever, electrolytes improving. Al dente to Jericho Pub and Grill to Temperance Hospital. Okay, so we visited one of the 3 restaurants before 7:45 and visited a hospital on the same day. So, midstream it. Got it. All right. When you're sliding into home and your pants are full of foam, diarrhea. Diarrhea. And Carolina Philip. She types with 2 fingers. What a monster. All right. She went to the Gurkha. That's one of the ones that we're checking out. So the Gurkha, Pineview Road, and then to the hospital. And she ate there. Let's see here. What do we have? Nosebleed, severe cough, dehydration, and fatigue. Dehydration and the Gurkha. Yeah, that works. Sounds awful. What do you think caused it? I'm not sure. Maybe the lamb korma at the Gurkha or the Rogan Josh, or it could have been that old deli meat I left on the counter. It did smell kind of weird. Yeah, it could have been that. You're getting in a state because you left it very late. Diarrhea. Diarrhea. It comes out from your bum like a bullet from a gun. Diarrhea. Diarrhea. Am I the only person that sung this shit on the bus? When you're climbing up a ladder and you hear something splatter, diarrhea. It's not very funny, but it's very hot and runny, diarrhea. There's a whole bunch of those. We made up all kinds of those back in the day. All right, so we got a lot of these. We got a lot of these that we can sell. Let's get logged in. Cell data. Oh, yeah. So, interestingly enough, dehydration and fatigue was not one of the ones that it listed, but it did give us 3 others. So, let's go for the geolocation and sell that one to the resistance. And I'm going to sell these others to Seb so that we've given the boss some shit that he wants to be a petty motherfucker. Alright. We're done with this hell. Hey man, sorry to hear about your job. Thanks, it's not terrible, I guess. I'll be working freelance for a while now. So, why did you want to meet? Oh, shit. So now we're leaking. We're elevating this. All right. I might have some information for you. Consider it a gift. Okay, what's the information? Ever heard of Calvin Prince, the DOL director's son? Yeah, I'm familiar with him. Sure, what about him? So he's getting helped by his father in very suspect ways, or him and his daddy are basically starting their own intelligence community royal family. Wow. Can you prove this? Absolutely. I have an immaculate source, or witness testimony and everything. I'm not sure about that, but I'm an immaculate source, as long as you can keep the witness confidential. Of course. That goes without saying. How soon can you publish? Depends on how much information you have. How much do you need? Then let's get started. And hey, Michael. Thanks. When we first met, I thought you might be kind of a jerk. But I'm glad to be completely wrong. You're clearly a real one. Hey, thank you. I think Parenthood was some of it. We just had a whole bunch of those that we used to do it. It was shit you can't sing in stuff like Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. Teacher hit me with a ruler, met her at the bank with a loaded army tank, and she ain't my teacher no more. That kind of shit. October 20th, 2028. Man, we have gone... Yeah.
We've questioned the Cabal lieutenants we picked up, but without much luck. They're too terrified to give us a name.
However, we know that their leader is stockpiling weaponry for another enormous attack. They're rich, they're reclusive, and they fit a bunch of key psych descriptors.
Remember, any one of the suspects you're looking at could be the Cabal mastermind, even the actual Cloud Dweller. We even called in a favor from the National Orbital Agency and have satellite imagery of their compounds. Evidence will be coming in piece by piece, so stand by.
SWAT teams are poised to raid each of them. But we can't afford a legal mishap with suspects this high profile. You must be 100% positive in your decision. Hey, Michael.
Hey, peepers. All right, let's get logged in here.
Satellite imagery shows changes within specific locations over 2 points in time as viewed from space. Okay. It's kind of cool. Death Wish. Identify which millionaire is planning a major terror attack. Evidence Wave 1. Starting. The captured Cabal lieutenants have revealed that their leader is stockpiling weaponry for another enormous attack. Okay, well, let's read the news. What's going on? Contact lens cameras are here. Galen Co. unveils lifelong flu vaccine. 3 final candidates as election looms, defining the rights of sex robots. Let's go back. Let's view the rules. 1. Any new buildings added to the compound. Joan Tedesco is a name that we've seen before, Cloud Dweller or Cabal. 2. Emotional coldness, preoccupation with fantasies, delusions of grandeur, with an interest in apocalyptic topics. And if they're expected to die within a year and have a large weapons-related purchase. Actually, Google Glass is very useful. In an industrial capability, there are a lot of things that people are doing that require step-by-step assembly, and they wear Google Glass as a way to guide them through manuals without having to look at a manual. They can look up, and they can go to exactly the page they need or the exact step in the instruction while continuing to work with what they're doing. They usually do foot pedals for it to be able to scroll forwards and backwards. So let's begin our assessment here with Karen Alberto. Karen Alberto. So we need to see if there's anything that's new. Step 1, any new buildings added to the compound. We need to know Joan Tedesco, Cabal, So yeah, we do. So we're absolutely going to deep link Cabal to the new building. I guess it's just the whole thing. So it's the only thing that we've got. We won't get a step 2 until later. So we'll go ahead and come in here and we'll say match. Han Lee. That's John Tedesco, not the same. And this is exactly the same. No match. New building. Got it. Cloud Dweller. Match. And honestly, I think Google Glass would be really cool with something like Twitch chat. It would be interesting to be able to play this or play a console or something like that and be able to follow chat and talk to you guys just by looking up for a second. So, no new buildings. Sarah Ryan. New building. Joan Tedesco. Match. Sybil Wiggins. New buildings. Cloud Dweller. Match. I mean, even without the camera, there's definitely things that it's useful for. If I had one, I would probably try and find a way to make it work with Twitch, with my Twitch chat. Cloud Day, Wilburn, Cable Guy, Saxophone, Tabasco. Okay, so there's nothing that we can link it to because none of these are there. No Cloud Dweller, no Cabal. So doesn't really matter that there's no change, so no match. It's interesting because the same kind of thing should have applied to the Snapchat goggles, and they sold a lot. So Joan Tedesco, new cameras, EVAT, or new buildings in Joan Tedesco. So perfect. Match. Evidence Wave 2. All right, so we are looking for emotional coldness or various other things. All right, so Sarah Ryan in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Let's see, I assume you're coming home. Why? Well, to attend the funeral. I think I'll pass. You don't care that she died? No, not really. I'd call that emotional coldness. Interest in apocalyptic topics? Cute animals, meme economy, feel-good fluff piece, weather, crafts, papier-mâché, tips? Nope, she has no interest in that. It's not a match. Sybil Wiggins. Self-indulgent, incurious, bitter, emotionally cold, calculating. That's the emotionally cold. Right there. The Phantom issue, blah, 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 blah. From when will this end? Fast forward, the Apocalypse. That's not good. Match. Oops. Come on. Anna Cardoso. Preoccupied with fantasies. Nuclear Holocaust scenarios. God damn it. Keep doing that. Dong Wang? Dong Wang? Hom Vong? Of course, no one can tell right now. Yes, of course. Once this comes together, they'll regret their short notices. Sure. I'll really see how brilliant I am. Is that right? Gee whiz. So, he's got delusions of grandeur. Interest in apocalyptic topics? Yes. Match. Again, some of these traits are traits you would expect out of millionaires in the first place, I think. I do think it's a match. Sorry, I blew my nose and forgot to unmute it. I do think it's a match, but she has more than 1 year. She's 73 years old. She has an expected lifespan of 74.5 years. So she won't die within 1 year, and that is the criteria that we're matching off of. Dong Wang, 72 years, 5 months, age 71. He bought sombrero, hazelnut spread, ping pong table, 48,093 cans of beans, and 50 Spruger rifles. His Magellan Rake disease with no treatment. Are you kidding? Is there any other people out here? Expected to die within 1 year. I mean, it was exactly the same as this guy right here, where it was 1 year plus 5 months. I can't really link that with the life expectancy. That doesn't match. I don't like this. I think we're in trouble. Yeah, 1 target and 0 remaining suspects. Something's fucked up there. We'll have to replay today, I can pretty much guarantee it. So let's just go ahead and beat it to it. We'll just log out. And we log back in and we can replay. It's one of the things I was hoping to be able to... That's why we waited for a while, is there are some glitches, and we've still seen a few glitches in this game. Even just tonight, playing for the last 3 hours or so, we've run into some glitches. So, alright, let's log in. And we'll try again. Yeah, same rules. Jeff Justin. No new buildings. Cloud Dweller, yes, but no new buildings. Cynthia Edgar. Yes, new building. Where did you see a new building? Oh my god. I saw a new road in the light green, like the terrain, but I didn't see a new dark green building. But I believe you. Christian Hansen. New building. Joan Tedesco. Linked. Francesca Testa. Definitely new buildings. Joan Tedesco. Interestingly enough, she was the same person that we ran into before. She just has a different name. Or a different age. So that's interesting. Did I link that the way it was supposed to be linked? Oh, not that line. That line. Mario Omar. No change. John Tedico. Nope. You're clear. Klaus Thiel. Alright. This is the same map that we got before. Can you show me the new... This one here? I see it. Good catch. Yaha Akbar. New building, yes. Cabal, yes. Priya Singh. No match. Sybil Wiggins, another name that occurred previously. New buildings. Cloud Dweller. Noriko Mariko. No new buildings. What would be really tricky is if we had to judge, like, if the shapes were different. That would be tricky, but really this is just the same image twice, so despite the fact it says Cloud Dweller, no match. Okay, Christian Hansen. Assume you're coming home. Why? I'll pass. Blah, 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 blah. And... interesting. So we have this conversation. here, but we've got nothing about apocalyptic topics. So we're going to pass. No match. Francesca Testa again. I still think that she's probably the one. Preoccupied with fantasies. Absolutely. Nuclear Holocaust scenarios. Match. Klaus. Of course, no one can tell right now. Blah, 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 blah. See how brilliant I am with collapse of civilization. Yaha Akbar, what do we think? Preoccupied with regrets? No. Meteor striking Earth? Yes, but preoccupied with regrets does not match. No match. I'm a little disappointed that the game is railroading me into leaking and everything. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, fast forward the apocalypse with emotionally cold. Final wave. There's really only like 2 people that can match. Well, no, there's 3. Francesca Testa. Alright. She is 81 years old. She will die at 82. Yes, metatextually, you're right. It kind of does, in a way, because we are doing it on the other thing. However, it would have been interesting to have had at least a bare Hydra's head worth of topics that we could have done, even if it was just the final chapter that's different. All right, so here comes my question, right? She's expected to die within 1 year. 81, 82 years, 0 months. I'm assuming today is not her birthday, because this is July 14th. So it's less than 1 year. So this time, she triggers if she had anything over here. Unfortunately, she bought a telescope, a metal detector, a T-sampler pack, and grenadine syrup. Does not trigger, sadly. No large weapons purchased there, so we have to give her a no match. I was hoping to have some additional agency for it because it's such a neat concept. Alright, so 56 years, 8 months, absolutely going to be less than that. No treatment, awaiting treatment. He bought a whole mess of rifles. So we're going to go ahead and link his rifles with that. Very likely it's him. But we're going to check the other one before we actually report him. Sybil Wiggins. 64. She's expected to die within 7 months. She bought a bunker, an armored SUV, body armor, and 18,000 rounds of machine gun ammunition. What she didn't buy was a gun, but I would say that this is definitely a large weapons-related purchase. So in this case, we have 2 people. Well, that's fine. We'll just trigger the SWAT raid on both. Let's see. $20 out of 20, we missed one appropriate decision. Interesting. What did we miss? Oh, I used a incorrect power. I passed him on something where... Oh, interesting. Even though we matched 3 times, it said that we shouldn't have SWAT raided him for some reason. We got all the correct pieces of evidence, but we shouldn't have swatted him. How weird. I don't see how we could have known, but maybe I'll go back and review the video at some point in time. Still, we're ranked number 1, and we did make the correct decisions, so... Klaus, he rated him huge weapons ammunition, however, nothing about the Cloud Dweller. No indication of connection to the SWAT. So the same thing on both of them. One of them said don't do it, the other one did. That's weird to me. What the fuck? Excuse me, I'm trying to work. What is this bullshit story about me? By some punk no-name reporter? Oh, are you famous now? I know this was you. I'm not a journalist, Calvin. I'll get you for this hayseed. Have no doubt. Is it just me, or is his beard coming in a little heavier, a little unevenly there? Looks like he's been sucking apricot jam out of a jar. He seemed like he meant it. Fucking bring it on. This is where he has people kidnap us in the fucking elevator or something like that. New message from Gordo. Hey, Gordo. Hadn't talked to you in a while. I just read this story on Calvin, man. Interesting stuff, right? That's one way of putting it. How screwed is he exactly? Barely. It's not enough to get him fired. I mean, we're still texting about all this shit in the clear. Granted, we do have a crypto text messaging, but I'm loving the public embarrassment. This could go wrong. I'm waiting to get our promotion, though. Alright, so one of the things I've noticed... Oh, it won't let me click on it. Do you know a Calvin Prince? The guy in the news? He came and spoke to me at my apartment today. What did he say? I mean, I already knew he was from the Department of Liberty, so at first I thought he'd come to warn me to stop snooping, even though I haven't done anything that useful in months. But then he told me something very interesting. Well, he probably told you I work for Serena. Do you feel like going out? I do. Told you what, or I meant to tell you. Told you what? How could you never tell me that you work for the DOL? In all this time? I wanted to. What did you think would happen if you did? That you wouldn't want to see me anymore, that you'd think I'm a monster? I don't like either one of those answers. How about you aren't cleared for that shit? You're not my wife. Even if you were my wife, I don't think I could divulge that shit. You'd think I'm a monster, sure. I mean, wouldn't you? I'm not sure. But I know you can't do that. You can't lie to people you care. Oh, yeah, you can. People do it all the time. People lie to themselves. People you say you care about anyway. Just to get what you want? Michael, I'm leaving. I understand, or come on, there's no need to do that. How about... Man, I don't know. Me as a player, I'm not attached to her at all. Like, her whole thing feels railroaded. So I'm not into it. Would he care? I mean, I guess if they've been together for 2 years, he would care. I mean, I'm leaving the country. I got approached by a website in New Zealand. I'm going to take it. Wait, what? I need to do something. I need to be someone. Like the someone I thought you were. All right, you guys. We have our options. I'm going with you, or I will miss you. I feel like this is like our second out. Like when we were given our first out by working for the company instead. So, let's take it. Let's go with her. Are you serious? You know what? I am. I don't need this anymore. What's holding me down? What about the Department of Liberty? You're right about it. About everything. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I want you. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Well then. That was an inglorious end. You both move to New Zealand and adopt a dachshund named Gilbert. You enjoy it so much that you become permanent residents, coming home for Christmases and Thanksgiving. Gilbert travels with you. All right. We're going to go ahead and call it there. That seems like an appropriate end to this session. We're going to have to abandon the brightest timeline where we travel the world with our dachshund named Gilbert. Next time that we play, we will just have to let Serena leave. But for right now, we'll live in that happiest of all timelines where we sell Lord of the Rings memorabilia to all the tourists and have picnics with Gilbert out there in the green grassy fields. I guess I will see you next time when we dash our hopes and no longer try for happiness or love, but doing our duty.